Frick, if I could find it, I will. I'll show it to you. But I've seen like one meme where they basically just drew apparently Hassan Piker making a surprise like entrance. Maybe he like reacted to it or something as well, or maybe he's freaking in it. But beyond that, I haven't seen too much. I've purposefully been trying to avoid this. I've been off YouTube's. I've been off the internets. I've just been freaking. I've just been doing me. I think somebody was like freaking spamming me stuff on Wednesday, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry. Friday. I can't. So finally, let's get into it. Content Cop H3 by a freaking Idubbbz, dude. I'm even forgetting his freaking name at this point. Hold on, let me move on over back to this side. Bro, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've been a Content Cop. I remember back when it used to be like a whole freaking event. When a Content Cop came out and everybody on the internet lost their freaking marbles. Bro, it was the talk of the town. And then I guess he started like dating some chick and they got into like they were like a boxing match or something. But like Sam Hyde or some fool started talking like smack or something, and I guess dude got all up in his feelings and they canceled it or something. It was a whole freaking debacle. Anyway, like after all that, I don't know. I guess Idubbbz kind of fell off the planet because I haven't really heard much about him until like now with this Content Cop. And as far as Ethan H3 goes, I mean, the only thing I've like besides like the whole situation where Denims was like basically like trying to egg on her audience to like call CPS on him. Besides that, I haven't really seen much about him. Honestly, he's also another content creator that kind of like his content got really boring to me too. Because both of these people, Idubbbz and H3, they used to make some freaking hysterical stuff. But they kind of just like, you know, who even cares anymore? Damn! 317 to 353! I didn't know this! What the hell's with this Content Cop, dude?
Destination, the beach.
I'm sorry, I guess that's enough context. But I'm sorry if it seems like I'm taking too long. I need to say all this stuff because everybody in the comments is gonna come in to be like, you're just a freaking Ethan fanboy. You're just a freaking you just want the old Idubbbz. You just want the. I thought the whole like N-word debate with Idubbbz was incredibly stupid. I thought it was very bad for him to say the word. I do like, similar to my African like art teacher. I'm not gonna call him out by his name because I don't freaking know how, you know. But basically, he told me that in his opinion, he just didn't believe anybody should say it outright. Like the word just sort of has too negative a connotation, and that kind of like sat well with me. You get me? So that's kind of the opinion I go with. But again, I'm a Mexican. With the like, I have some black ancestors, like family, but like they're like they're like directly from Africa to Spain to Mexico. You get or directly from Africa to Mexico. Like there's not like, you know, not quite the same like as what happened here in America. You get me? So we really got like no freaking like I don't really think I got much of a say in that whole situation. What I did like was like, for example, the Leafy Content Cop. Oh, that's a good one. That was a good one because to me, a Content Cop was always this sort of thing where like somebody out there is making garbage content, getting popular, but like the content was just really bad. He just sort of brought to light, sort of like, guys, really, like this is what we're freaking like putting up on a pedestal, and 9 times out of 10, people kind of did see it. Like, you know, he makes a pretty good point. And depending on how the person reacted to it, typically a lot of people sided with either Idubbbz or, you know, one or the other. I think the most controversial one was that Monke one. And, you know, for good reason. Bro was freaking, you know, just dropping the N-bombs for edgy points. But even if it's a bad take, overall, I think the Content Cops were pretty good content. Minus that part that I freaking don't like. And Ethan, what else can I say? It's a freaking Vape Nation guy. I don't know. He freaking started getting political when I stopped caring. Same as Hassan. He used to be like more gaming and news and stuff, and then suddenly it's like he freaking started getting all political, and I'm like, oh, I freaking I turn around, look, come back, look again, and all of a sudden you guys are all freaking political streamers. I'm like, what the frick is happening? Anyway, sorry, I've been on this. I've been watching YouTube for a long time, bro. So this is like the Avengers coming together for me, you know? We got H3H3, Hassan Piker, Content Cop.
He was not a baby killer. Actually, accusing Ethan of killing his dog is maybe too far because they have mobilized.
I don't know if anybody else has said it, but I'm just gonna say it. Why is he going with like the skinhead look?
Such an insane harassment.
Right, like it's a little too on the nose with the balding head, and the wife beater, and the you know what I'm saying, and the freaking.
That anybody who says any fucking thing, they will attempt to ruin their life.
Well, look how cozy his house looks, though. He's got a freaking stove. He's got a metal stove. You think that one actually works? Like he could actually put like firewood in there?
And once again,
like is it actually like I guess it's connected to the ceiling to like throw it out. It's the suit, the uniform. Do it, play it, play that song.
What we do here
is
is
go back. Okay, Ryu over here. He used to be a little bit more athletic back in the day. He used to jump on top of the kitchen cabinets and like jump on top of a mailbox at one point. He's kind of just like Bruce Lee karate kung fuing like in place now. No, I feel that though, bro. I'm also 29, right? Like I got you. The freaking the knees start to freaking get out. He's doing jumping jacks. That's about as athletic as we get nowadays. I'm just saying, he'd be standing on this like Spider-Man in the other video. In the good old days. Bagging a doll, nice. Real Captain Boomerang vibes from Suicide Squad. 3 of them, damn. Why? He's not helping with the wife beater thing when he's looking with the alcohol and like 3 cigarettes as he walks outside. Oh, sick. That's littering. Alright, though, I'm back in it. I'm back in, Oh, it starts off this quickly. Everyone was telling me Hassan was in it. Everyone was telling me. Just like this? Just a reaction? Is this like a clip?
What's up, everybody? I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hassan broadcast coming to you live from a...
What camera is he using, bro? Look at there's like stuff on his cheeks now. He posted out the freaking red camera for this one, Damn, bro, like, I didn't realize how many, I didn't realize Hassan had so many, like, freckles like that. He's got, like, so many freckles. Oh, he's a freckly little boy.
A cloudy day here in California, Los Angeles. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a
cloudy day in California.
Fantastic one, because today's a beautiful day. I have a very important announcement. I've finally done it. I watched Ethan Klein's content nuke, and I'm not gonna call it context puke.
How come we didn't watch it live though? I think that's what people really wanted, right? Because like nobody really cares what you do to like see it and then go and ask like all your friends and like try to freaking come up with like a good response and like people kind of sorry I'm like dropping like liquid all over my freaking desk. People kind of want to just see you like be real and like be like talk up front. That's kind of why people wanted you to react to it like day of or like the day after. Because I think didn't Ethan react to this freaking thing like the day of? Like I think literally the same day that this came out, Ethan reacted to it live. So it kind of just shows who has more confidence in their arguments, so to speak. Sorry, freaking go play. Freaking sorry, I made a mess on my.
The reality of the matter is,
forget like my freaking little cup has like too much damn condensation.
It was brilliant. Nothing was out of context.
Really?
Everything was correct. I am an Islamist, fundamentalist, radical terrorist. I am a vicious anti-Semite. It's true. Most important.
I'm surprised he just came out and said it. I mean, for the most part, because people were telling me that like it's not like a lot of people in my comments mainly were telling me that it's like not perfect. I got a napkin. People in my comments were like telling me how it's like it's not anti-Semitic to consider like child like baby Israeli babies like valid military targets, or like when Hamas like attacked that freaking concert, like murdered a bunch of people, started R-wording women, and like they started bringing out like pictures and images of like the tragedies that were happening. Some of them, you know, the terrorists themselves were posting up on like Facebook and stuff, where they were showing like women all bloody from, you know, their underparts and a bunch of other stuff, and like how like Hassan was like denying all that stuff and saying that it's not true, it's not real. And then when the kind of like the evidence kind of got a little bit too, he started saying that even if it was, it's okay because they're valid military targets and they're all this other stuff and that they're all freaking settlers, all this stuff. And I don't know, I was just kind of like, then he started saying all this stuff about like from the river to the sea, like which is basically means we're gonna murder all the Jews from the river to the sea, to like wipe out that whole like all of that whole freaking, basically just wipe all the people from the river to the sea. So it's like that's the main stuff that I'm like I don't like, and I feel like it's very, very pro-terrorist. Plus he supports Hamas, he supports Hezbollah. So that's really my biggest like, I'd say critiques of Hassan is all that. Everything else I kind of don't care about. Not really. A lot of people criticize him for saying that, you know, America deserved 9/11, but that's like an opinion. like it's tragic, yeah, you know, well, because of course, like a lot of people know people that passed away from that, but that's just kind of like, it's just an idiot being an idiot saying it's idiotic stuff, you know.
Ethan is more...
I personally just don't like how much he supports like the terrorists and the terrorist like actions, and like how defensive, how much he runs defense for him, you know. That's really my biggest issue with it.
Attractive to me both physically and also mentally. I've been lying about everything, including my glasses. They're fake. He was right about that. That's not even in the content nuke, and he was right about that too. How did he know everything? How?
He has so many freckles. I never noticed.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan.
Woo! We got the beat!
Ethan, wake up.
Wakey, wakey.
Oh my goodness, please. I would never want a person to just sneak up behind me with that face. Getting real P. Diddy Meek Mill vibes.
Ethan, wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Time to be awake.
I love the fake chat though.
Ethan,
Wake up, Ethan.
No way, dude! It's freaking Denims. She's the chick that like puts hit outs on people. She put a hit out on what was it, on Destiny? She said that she'd like give people money if they just swiped them out, took them out. Why would you add her on here, dude? You should be making a content cop on her.
this is no longer a dream.
No way.
This is a nightmare. Wake up.
Did Hassan like request to have her in this too?
Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Wake up.
Her words, not ours. No way! Dude, that's freaking... Why are you wearing so much makeup? Good lord, you don't normally wear this much makeup. I've seen your streams. Hold on. But hold on, they even got Frogan in on this. What the hell? Frogan? Miss, I hope all United States Army, like, people get PTSD. Miss, I want to make a cake, a 9/11 cake. Get the frick out of here, dude. No. No, Ian. Oh, this just got so much better. This just got 1,000,000 times better, dude.
Ethan, wake up. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake.
Wait, the other guy who puts hits out on people? He put a hit out on Destiny too. And that's why then Denims. So this guy originally put a hit out on Destiny. He's like, whoever like wants to make a bunch of money and lives over there, I got a way for you to make some money if you just like take this dude out. And then Denim said that she would like add money on top of that, and then people kind of got that confused and thought she was talking about Asmongold, but it wasn't Asmongold. It was just that Asmongold had reacted to that. And so that's where that confusion came from. But she wasn't talking about putting a hit out on OzDaMonke. She was talking about putting a hit out on Destiny 2, if I'm not mistaken. But he's basically the guy that originally did it, right? What's his name again?
Wake up.
That's literally the only thing I know him from. Wait, so this is the crew you want to hang out with now? This is what Content Cup is doing now? No way. Bro really decided to like join up with the Sinister Six of Twitch, Dude, tell me Dan Clancy shows up in this too. Oh, this would be the greatest Content Cup ever if Tom Clancy shows up.
Since anyone? Just wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up.
Bro, they really brought the entire pro Hezbollah, pro Hamas, pro every disgusting thing that's been said on Twitch for the last. They literally made a freaking Arab to Jew tier list, sponsored by Twitch. I did not expect this crew to turn up here. I knew about Hassan, but it's like, what, did Hassan write the freaking script at this point? Wow, he brought everybody. They're even recording it in Hassan's room.
I'm not gonna do a react content.
Are they Fortnite dancing right now, bro? That you can't. You're gonna start Fortnite dancing now?
And yeah, chat.
I'm the same. Nobody's told you.
I gotta see that one more time.
Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not gonna do a react content.
You know what? I apologize to Ian. You are the only person here who is athletic enough to be able to handle that dance.
Yeah, chat.
Look at this.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up, Ethan.
Look at this.
I'm not gonna do a react content. Yeah, chat.
I'm the same.
Nobody else can do the dance. I can't do the dance right, but damn, that's probably why I'm not trying to do it on screen.
I love Sabra hummus.
The Sabra hummus? Really? Damn. You're really gonna bring that up? And for those who don't know, that they pretty much everybody on screen, they use Sabra as like a dog whistle that's supposed to mean like Israeli-born Jew. They like to use that about Ela Klein like a lot. They like to like reference Sabra and like and it's freaking wild. And it's like an obvious dog whistle too, which is wild. I thought like dog whistles were like against TOS. Oh look, there's Feastables! Bro, they even got Mr. Beast involved! Dude, is Jimmy gonna come out in this one? Tell me Jimmy comes out! Bro, we got the Avengers of like terrible. Oh, the glory, please. Please, if anybody's here for hatred, if anybody's here to defend Hassan or anybody else in that camp, or if you're here to defend Ethan as well, please leave all of your negative comments in the comment section down below, and please be sure to dislike. The engagement helps so much. Have yourself a great rest of your day as well after the fact, and please be sure to tell me how much my opinions don't matter because I am an anime. What's with the dungeon in your basement?
Alright. I didn't plan on making a content
No, keep the
comp on
freaking. What happened to keep the cop shirt on?
H3. It sounds very
I feel like he always kept the content. I feel like he always put on the thing for it.
stupid even saying that. H3 content cop. Idubbbz. Ethan Klein's out of control. And then you should do a content cop on Hassan Piker. Content.
He kind of just said it himself, though, didn't he?
Stupid even saying that. H3 content cop. Idubbbz.
Let me hear that one more time.
Alright. I didn't plan on making a content cop on H3. It sounds very stupid even saying that.
Yeah, I mean, because literally the last big news that came out about H3 was the fact that the red hair chick, freaking Denims, was pretty much egging on her audience to basically falsely contact Child Protective Services. I reacted to that. Please go and check it out. And that's what really pissed me off because I worked for many years very closely with Child Protective Services and was a foster parent that would basically go and help, secure any children that are in a bad situation when Child Protective Services was involved. And I did that for about 3 years, dude. Freaking A. More than the 7 years I did in cell phone repair. Freaking A. I still technically am. I still technically am working in that field because you're technically not necessarily off. Even now, they can technically sort of hit me up if they need like a halfway house in the meantime or something, you know. Sorry, I'll stop freaking rewinding. I know it's a long video.
Out of control. And then
It's a
you should
freaking
do a
hour-long video.
content cop on Hassan Piker. Content cop on Sargon of Akkad. If I would have
I'll be real though, if you wanted more content, Hassan Piker would has a lot. Because if again, content cop is supposed to be about like how shitty your content is, and you know, a lot of times it'd be about how shitty the person is too. But that's yeah. I'm thinking Leafy's.
In 2016, I would have been
the ideal one I'm thinking of is the
if I ever
Leafy.
do that,
Leafy
it's
is
gotta
here.
be because I lose the plot. Well, it turns out it's not me losing the plot. It's Ethan. He's the one who fucking attacked first.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years
I didn't know he
can't
started
find
this.
a spine to speak up.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
All right, guys, I'm gonna.
My good friend could not speak up. And then he called you spineless? Is it because this is in regards to the? If I'm not mistaken, I've seen people have been talking. That's from the freaking Child Protective Services clip. So what? Because wait, so Ethan calls you out because you did not speak up when Denims was egging on her audience to falsely call Child Protective Services on Ethan. He calls you a coward for not speaking up on his behalf, and so that's an attack on you? Okay. Weird start.
I'm gonna tell you a story about Ethan Klein. I know
Ooh,
some
tell
of
me.
you have been following him, but there's a lot of people who might not be.
Not really since Vape Nation, and besides the Child Protective Services thing, he fell off big time as far as content goes. He's freaking boring now. Well, I'm just not a big like political guy. I follow Ela Klein a lot more because I like her freaking like her outfits, like her Teddy Fresh. It's freaking dope.
Familiar with the background,
Love
with his
Ela.
podcast, with what's been going on over the past couple of years. So Ethan, as you know,
They didn't really watch the podcast. Not even back when he did the Hassan and like podcast with them. Like it was like, I maybe checked it out here and there when Hassan and Ethan were doing the podcast, but like it was not really much.
Creator who has a podcast where
You want to talk about weird? I was watching the Off Topic podcast, is like closer. I want to say.
he says all sorts of outrageous stuff. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's fucked up. He's had shows with all sorts of different controversial characters. He's had a show with Trisha Paytas. He's had a show with Hassan Piker. In doing so, he's gathered a...
Yeah, he sounds like a very open-minded and willing to allow his oppositions to speak their mind kind of person. Your point?
ton of different audiences. Now, in his podcast with Hassan, Leftovers, they would mostly talk about surface level progressive shit and make fun of right-wingers.
And you're telling me he didn't flick their
Oh yeah, it was definitely before this too, but heavy here was just like, what the hell are these guys? These were freaking. This is the Vape Nation guy in the freaking gaming. All right.
dick once at least?
Oh, that's 100 shavers, you trans women. I say, oh no!
And it was mostly that until they actually had to reckon with a very serious topic. I would say that Hassan was very well equipped to talk about that topic.
Palestinian people living in the West Bank are subject to these horrific conditions, horrific living conditions by the state of Israel, America's greatest ally and the only democracy in the Middle East, if you ask Republicans and even liberals.
Well, that dance he invented was so kick-ass.
Israeli settlers are trying to evict Palestinian families in occupied East Jerusalem. The United Nations says that that may be a war crime. It literally is.
I was just eating the toppings, and the pizza looked like a burn victim. It was all disgusting.
I don't know if you can make that joke in 2021.
Why?
It's insensitive to burn victims.
I think it's a good analogy. It's a powerful image.
Ethan
Like Freddy Krueger, he looks like he has pepperoni stretched across his face.
was not prepared for this.
Yeah, see, a lot of that stuff is really, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, this seems like very much heavily edited to favor Hassan, incredibly so. It's kind of like, so because he's not directly talking about this one thing, suddenly he's like advocating for like I don't get what point he's trying to make here is basically what I'm getting at. Yeah, I don't understand what point he's trying to make here.
Ethan, the whole time, is more of the goof guy. And that's fine, you know?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, again, entertainers are here to entertain. That's why I fell off. I don't really, like, I didn't care much for the politics of the day-to-day stuff of it. But more than that, I just feel like there are some people out there that you go to for news and for, opinions on, like, political situations, or, you know, or sometimes you don't want an opinion, sometimes you want just objective truth. But I feel like there's, like, a road, there's a time and a place, there's a road and an avenue, there's, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, at least, it was kind of like, I'd rather, like, at the time, at least, I would rather, like, be looking at funnies than be looking at all this, like, stuff.
We don't expect Ethan to be an expert on the topic. Ethan was obviously caught in this tricky situation where he is extremely sympathetic to the Israeli cause and what's happening to them. His wife's Israeli. She served.
What's happening to them? This really does feel like Hassan wrote this, bro. What happened to them is that Hamas, okay, the terrorists, they invaded and murdered a bunch of people and armed a bunch of women at a concert. In fact, I still think they even have, like, United States, like, prisoners. Like, that's what happened to them. They got hit with a terrorist strike by terrorists.
Served in the IDF. He obviously likes the state of Israel. On the other hand, he's just got done capturing a massive progressive.
He says, again, they keep saying that Ela Klein was in the IDF. Yeah, because it's a mandatory, like, you have to go into the military over there. That's like saying, like, that British guy, you know, he was in the army, the British army. It's like, yeah, it's ordered, it's mandatory. It's mandatory to join the army over there. They should, like, what is that supposed to mean? What are you trying to get at? Like, say what you're saying. Why does everything have to be, like, some, like, roundabout way to try to insinuate something? I hate that.
Who are very politically savvy. They follow Hassan. Hassan is strictly a political streamer. So this is something they're very keyed into. So when they see Ethan say things that are just, like, not accurate and it's just propaganda, they're gonna call it out.
From the river to the sea essentially means the state of Israel is...
When they see something that's just BS propaganda and not accurate, they're gonna call it out!
Going bye-bye.
So this massive progressive audience that Ethan has, you know, adopted over the years.
Adopted. You merely adopted the progressiveness. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't know what anti-Semitism was until I was already a man.
They're becoming increasingly critical of his position because now he's talking about it.
Are they? I feel like he's been getting a lot of support because like, a lot of the people in Hassan's camp have been, like, attacking him, like, with IRL stuff.
Not on Leftovers.
Like,
he's now
like the
talking
Child
about
Protective
it on
Services.
his podcast.
What I want to do is show you guys how I see Israel, because you don't see that. When you listen to Hassan and you hear all these fucking mega lefties talking about it like it's some super racist, like, crazy, you know, like Jim Crow style of society. Like, I can't wait to show you guys.
The other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
So Ethan is having this back and forth with his liberal audience, leftist people online, progressive content creators, Hassan, all of these different people. He's finding new people every day, basically, to get in fights with.
Of all...
I mean, okay, sure. Sure, why not? But again, the biggest problem is that a lot of these people are starting to, like, bring shit into the real world, like calling Child Protective Services on them, and, like, you kind of just sided with that whole team there. What with your little Fortnite dance at the beginning of the video?
People, this guy Matt Lieb, Frogan and Denims and all these dipshits, and everybody thinks...
Yeah, Frogan and Denims, you know, Denims who puts hits out on people live on stream. Frogan who wishes PTSD on all American soldiers and veterans.
This guy's awesome, apparently. Even though he looks like Millhouse, fucking dork.
He
Denims,
looks
by the way.
exactly like Millhouse. That is freaking Millhouse if I've ever seen Mill. If there was a real person out there who basically said I based Millhouse off of this person, it's that freaking nerd right there. I don't care who the hell you are. That's freaking Millhouse. I don't even know who the hell that is.
Frogan and Denims and all these dipshits, and everybody.
Yeah, I don't care who the hell you are. That's freaking. I didn't see it until he said it, but that's Millhouse. I'm sorry that you look like Millhouse. Well, I'm sorry that Millhouse looks like you, right? But you look like Millhouse. Look, you're making the same freaking face right now. Look at that. It's freaking Millhouse.
Thinks this guy's awesome, apparently.
I don't know him or what the frick he stands for, any of his junk. I'm just saying, you look like Millhouse. I'm
Looks
just
like
saying, I
Millhouse,
agree.
fucking dork.
Denims, by the way, was the real.
I had no reason to
villain
call
of
him
the
dork,
big-
right? But he does look like a Millhouse.
Yeah, evil, hateful, fucking. And I'll say it, and I'll double down on it. And people, oh no,
No,
did I not go there.
And it's all culminated, at least for my story, in Ethan burning bridges with people until he burned the bridge with me. Since Ethan and Hassan's falling out, I've been keeping to myself mostly. I don't have many nice things to
Has it been since his falling out? I thought it was since Sam Hyde.
say. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help.
I thought it was
maybe-
since the whole thing with Sam Hyde. Oh, okay. It was since Hassan and him got. So when Hassan and Ethan got into an argument, you suddenly disappeared because of that. It wasn't because of Sam Hyde. Got it. Okay, awesome. Totally, I got it. Well, let's run with that
stops
one.
harassing other creators. Maybe if he does these
He's
things-
harassing other creators. They freaking called they falsely reported him to Child Protective Services, and they egged on their audience to do all this. What?
Eventually he'll find peace and we
I don't care whose side you're on. Like, well, facts are still facts, G.
can like rekindle our friendship. So that's been my approach. I've occasionally
And so far, the only thing you've showed me that he had personally attacked you was that he said you were spineless for not speaking up when they sent Child Protective Services at him.
thrown a joke Ethan's way in the form of Hassan Piker versus Ethan Klein for boxing.
I like Idubbbz. He's a good guy, but I don't like this stupid. It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like this guy's.
Yeah, I can see that. He's trying to have a genuine discussion, a genuine argument, discussion, debate with somebody who ideologically is, against him, so to speak, ideologically different. It's kind of like to water it down to like, yeah, let's make them punch each other. It just sort of like, it's like, why? Like that's not very conductive for a discussion about very important things. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, there are people that we would love to see. Like, there's definitely people we love to see fight. You know, I would personally love to see Ian fight Sam Hyde. Idubbbz versus Sam Hyde, because that's just like, that's just like petty beef. That's not like a politically, ideologically charged nothing. There's no freaking ideology or political nothing. That's just freaking beef. That's just internet beef. You know what I'm saying? Not be freaking hysterical.
Evil, and he's doing anti-Semitism.
Freaking Boogie and Wings of Redemption was a freaking great, man. You know what I'm saying?
And also, he's way out of my weight class.
He didn't like that, but fucking sometimes you gotta just throw something out there. I used to work with this video editor named Froggy Tonic. I discovered him because he was in the circles online that I was in. And one of those circles is an H3 fan. He watched Ethan's content, he liked Ethan's content, until he didn't like Ethan's content. There would be an occasional Froggy tweet where I'd be like, I agree with that, Like, I'm not gonna endorse it, I'm not gonna retweet it or like it, but fair enough.
I guess I just missed, my old friend. Some wings are too bird feathered, colored.
Now that brings us to February 28th of this year. Now my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit. He called Hila the...
How do you think you are morally above us all when you're just judging people based on where they're from? Okay, first of all, I don't know how to pronounce that one. Gallant is not a good guy. Palestinians don't learn to hate Jews at 2 years old, and all that, Alright, well, what the frick? Okay! So the guy just calls Ethan's wife okay.
the C word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with.
Oh, I remember, yeah. He started making up lies that they were trying to murder their dog. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, Froggy Tonic's a piece of garbage, yeah. No, that's an easy throw him under the bus. Screw him. Piece of garbage. Screw him.
Cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit, I'm sure. Ethan, at some point, discovers that Idubbbz' former editor says this horrendous shit about him and Hila. But no one's asking the question, where does Ethan get this information from? You see, it would...
Who cares? Is it true or not? Like, I'm looking at the post right there from Froggy. And so Froggy's a piece of, like, trash. Where did you find out from? Who cares? Oh, okay. Wait, you just murdered someone? Yeah, but how did you find out I murdered someone? You got me there. Yeah, no, true. Wait, who cares where the frick he found out? Okay.
It would be very obviously a problem if Ethan was discovering this content by scrolling through Twitter looking for something to upset himself with.
It really doesn't matter how he found it. But if if like that douchebag is over here saying that kind of stuff, and you like know him personally, I probably would have been like, hey bro, you need to calm down. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, freaking, you ain't too real with this shit.
Maybe set it up in such a way where his employees feel the need to send him this information. And that would be horrible. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be sending you things.
Why? Why do you get to determine what the hell other people do or what his employees do for him? Mind your damn business.
That are entertaining for your show that don't fucking trigger the hell out of you. Why is there so much work?
Okay, what? You shouldn't do, your employees shouldn't do what you tell them to, as if we don't even know if this is what they want them to do, but you shouldn't be, your employees shouldn't be telling you all the bad things that my ex-employees say about you. They should be giving you happy thoughts. What is your argument here, bro?
Work being put into discovering this guy on Twitter who's barely getting any interactions, linking him to me and posting on the Reddit when there's...
He didn't really link him to you, he kind of just linked him to the Creator Clash too. Because he is an editor for the Creator Clash too.
No work being put into who the fuck is the person on the Reddit who's posting this in the first place. If you...
Are the tweets that he sent out true or not? Who cares who the hell posted it? Are they real? Did he say it? What the frick? Who cares where the information came from? What is this? Such a stupid point.
A little bit of research. It seems like it's an account whose intention is to make Ethan crash out. One of the users on the Snark Reddit points this out. They're like, I've seen this account before. This account has scraped its history, and it's now trying to make Ethan burn bridges. This is within Ethan's own community. Like, this is the thing that he needs to be critical.
Here's a genuine question. Is it all true? And if it is, maybe the bridge is worth burning. I'm just saying, not like... Just because there's a bridge doesn't mean that it should stay up, you get me? Like, I'm just saying, you make a bridge to the Sentinel Islands. I'm sorry, but I might have to go burn that bridge down. I don't want the Sentinelians to come over here and start hitting me with arrows. You get what I'm saying?
Critical of. It's not me. So yes, I am willing to admit that my former editor was being very nasty, uncharitable, and fucked up towards Ethan and Hila.
He was being a very bad boy.
On Twitter. But Ethan and Hila are doing the same shit on their podcast.
Oh, okay, so it's justified. Cool. No, it's fine. It's cool that he said all that. It's fine.
So, I don't want to fucking hear it.
Terrorist supporter.
The CEO of Twitch.
Yeah, but he himself said he's a terrorist supporter, though. Hold on. He says he supports Hamas and Hezbollah. So, like, that's kind of true. That's just the fact.
Pedophile.
Now I'm going to watch and respond to the two podcast streams where Ethan and Hila call us spineless cowards.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on like, she's a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and Idubbbz feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
You don't know what's on my...
They'll get murdered. That's all. He's freaking crashing out there. Ethan needs to chill. Who cares, bro? Like, it's fake friends. Like, somebody, like, this is how you find out who's real and who's not. Like, Get him out of your life. Screw him.
My feed. What the fuck is happening? For all you know, I only use the For You tab. For all you know, I only use lists. For all you know, I'm seeing these things tweeted out by my editor of a year and a half ago and saying, God, that is nasty. I'm just not gonna throw someone away because they're having a parasocial weird moment. Just like I'm not...
I would. I totally would. Stop acting like a freaking freak. Stop being a freaking weirdo, bro. Knock it off. That shit's not normal. Act like a freaking adult. Act like a normal human being. And discuss things like the adults that we are. Quit acting like a weirdo and stop making shit up about people. Because you personally feel that you're justified in doing so because they don't agree with the same politics or they don't have your freaking standpoint or point of view. And if you start acting like a freaking freak, you start acting like a weirdo, and you start treating people terrible, you start calling people names, and you start freaking advocating for death, and you start freaking you start accusing people of trying to murder their dog, guess what? I'ma cut things off. I don't want to freaking hang out with you. Get the frick out of here. You're a freaking weirdo.
I'm not gonna throw Ethan Klein away because he's having a parasocial weird crash out.
No, but you are throwing your career. Well, actually, I was gonna say you're throwing your career away, but to be fair, you didn't have much one. Anyways,
I fucked.
Not
Hassan,
after,
by the
not
way,
after Sam Hyde.
thousands. Yeah, thousands. Let me ask Galia. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Hassan's the type of dude who watches himself in the mirror when he has sex.
Watching me on a 30-second delay on your stream.
Wait, that's
yeah, literally, this is all Hassan and Ethan's freaking like show has become. It's just them watching each other. It's boring as hell, bro.
Wait, how does he know I'm watching already?
I'm
been talking about it for the last 5 minutes.
It's not a fucking petty
Hassan
beat.
has like an entire freaking team of people that like go out and watch things that are negative about Hassan and then tell Hassan about them so that Hassan can debate on whether or not he wants to respond to one thing or another. But he doesn't want to ever, he likes to pretend like he doesn't react to anything himself, and he only gets told by somebody else what happened.
If it's like
many
this
clips
guy's
out there of him
evil
doing
and he's
exactly
doing
that.
anti-Semitism.
Why would I watch that? Why would I want to watch that?
There are many people.
I was told by my editor, it's like, shut up, dude.
Who have unfollowed you for the things that you have said and done, and I'm sure there are even more people who have stayed following you because they don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They don't want to throw someone away because they've had some hard moments. We're all fucking human.
My
dude, I'm sorry, but like there are some things that I'm not gonna like. If you start supporting terrorists, if you start freaking making up false accusations, you start egging on your audiences to freaking like falsely report people to Child Protective Services. There's so many things here that I would very, very quickly and very easily burn bridges on. Like, I don't care who the hell you are, how long I've known you for.
Good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years.
Again, they don't owe you nothing either, Ethan. Idubbbz doesn't owe you any defense. Nobody owes you any defense. They're not your freaking, like, I'm sorry to tell you this, brother. They're not your freaking friends. Nobody's your freaking friend. There's very few people in life that are genuinely actually friends, my dude. People, like, I'm sorry, but that's just a fact. There's not what we believed, we romanticize that kind of stuff. But, like, no, like...
Find a spine to speak up, you know why?
Like, you should not ever expect anybody else to fight your battles for you. And I don't mean that in the way that you think I mean that. I mean, like, don't expect Idubbbz to come stand up for you. Don't expect nobody to stand up for you. Just don't. That's my personal philosophy on it. I never expect none of my friends, none of my homies, I don't expect jack squat from them. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. I just don't. Because I never, ever, I don't know, maybe it's just because of me. Maybe it's a trust issue. I don't put faith in nobody because I don't, like, how can I? They're not me. It's not me. You get what I'm saying? I don't know.
Because they'll get murdered.
And what you're saying to me
that being said, for that same reason, I tend to be pretty, like, freaking, like, loyal to a fault as well and get freaking burned pretty badly, honestly.
That I'm a bad friend and I'm a piece of shit. I'm spineless. I'm cowardly because I am following someone on Twitter
because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't know what he's getting at here. Like, yeah, people are gaslighting you. A lot of people gaslit me when I apologized. That was actually like the number.
I love how the only freaking like argument he has is you're being gaslit, but it's okay because I was also gaslit. You people are saying horrible things about you, but it's okay because you say horrible things about someone else. It's kind of like, what is this logic we have going on here, dude?
One type of
this eye for an eye, like shit is so stupid.
Me and taking my newfound woke ideology to its extreme.
I probably done and stood by Idubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all they.
It's not a transaction, brother. You don't be nice to them or do whatever the hell you want and be like cool and all this other shit, and then you expect them to do something cool back for you. No, don't expect nothing from them, brother. If you're gonna do something, like this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier too, and maybe this is a better way to explain it. I had a boy. I'm not gonna say who it is or what the situation is, but I had a boy who I used to work with all the time, and we used to eat at a ramen shop every single day. And I basically freaking paid for ramen damn near on the day, like all constantly. Not only the ramen, but sometimes I would like go get snacks at the gas station, or I'd go to like the Dollar Tree, and I'd cover the snacks, I'd cover the drinks, I'd constantly be the kind of person that's like, ooh, it's payday, so what am I gonna do with my paycheck? Well, I'm gonna go to the freaking, gas station, I'm gonna go to the ramen shop, and my boy, because sometimes it would just be me and him working, like holding down the shop, he'd be starving too, and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go get some food, I'm gonna go get something from the gas station, I'm gonna go do whatever. He'd be like, alright, cool, give me this, that, and the other, bet, and I'd be like, alright, cool. And I'd just be like, no, keep your cash. I got it covered. Done. When you do things like this, and this is about more of a material, example, but when you do things like this, you should never, ever, ever, ever expect that person tomorrow or the next day, or if you're in a bad situation and they're in a good situation, you should never expect them to suddenly turn around and be like, oh, you helped me when I needed, and now I will help you back. No, that's stupid. If you're going to be kind to someone, if you're going to be nice to someone, be friends with someone, do it because you want to be friends with them, and that's something you personally want to do. Don't do things for other people because you expect that favor to be returned someday in the future. That's just such a stupid way to look at it. I don't know, I don't like that. What's wrong with me?
The internet hated them.
Feels
I don't
fake.
like that Ethan brought this up.
Feels very fake.
It makes the relationship feel very transactional.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We're just meant to
facts.
support each other online despite our own personal morals or principles.
But I'll say this: I don't
know if it has anything to do with morals and principles, but I just don't think you should expect anyone from everybody. Nobody should expect anybody to come to your defense. Just say your piece and move on. Like it's that simple.
They're fucking any friends of mine, and certainly I don't think they're any fucking friends of mine based on the text conversation I had with them too before
again, you should not think of like friends as people that should be coming out to your defense, in a moment's notice, just for whatever the frick.
I don't need any fucking halfway friends, man.
I thought the text conversation that I had with him was very empathetic. I basically just said, like, I know you and Hila are experiencing a ton of harassment, and I essentially empathize with that, and I think...
A ton of harassment, so he's just not even gonna mention what... I mean, I guess he's not gonna mention the fact, because he has all the harassers on the show with him. He has freaking Frogan, Denims, Hassan. They're all the people that are, like, egging on their audiences to basically go on this whole freaking, like, messed up campaign against Ethan. Whether you like him or not, it's a freaking fact.
I think there's something positive to get out of the conversation. But he refused to talk on the phone unless I was willing to public...
I can't, like, it's so... if you told me Hassan wrote all this, just the way he's trying to, like, circumvent mentioning the bad things that everybody in the beginning of the video mentioned while trying to only mention the things that Ethan did wrong is, like, such a Hassan move.
Say something about my former editor and Denims. As much as you don't want halfway friends, I also don't want that kind.
But again, so what you're saying is you instead of siding, it's your freaking choice. Who cares? But rather than siding with Ethan, you decide to side with the guy who's calling his wife the C word, accusing her of being a baby murderer, and Denims, who has been egging on her audience to falsely report him to Child Protective Services. That's your move? That's your golden move.
Kind of halfway friend. I don't want someone who's going to give me like an ultimatum to have a conversation.
Could you not?
You don't freaking need an ultimatum to get rid of, like, trash people in your life. But I guess if you agree with them, it kind of just shows where you're at.
Say something when this is like, imagine like one of you guys is like, Hassan actually wants to go to Gaza so he can strangle Israeli babies. Or some shit like that. I'd be like, you imagine me not saying something.
You're trying to make a one-to-one comparison where there isn't one. This guy that I follow on Twitter is not in the same relationship as you and one of your current employees who is streaming with you 3 days a week, 3 hours a day for the past...
Alright, then what about everybody else you just added to your video, though? Because you're literally making a video with them. What about all them? Because you only bring up your ex-employee. What about everybody you're currently working with? You know, like,
10 years? At one point during this stream,
like,
Ethan and Hila bring up Adam
arguing?
McIntyre. Now, Adam does basically the same thing as my former editor. He's critical of Ethan and Hila, and he is sometimes uncharitable and nasty towards them.
Adam McIntyre needs...
Sometimes uncharitable and nasty to them. He's sometimes a willy bad boy.
Like, disappear. That guy is a piece of shit, like, of the lowest order. I never even stood by him when he talked bad about Trisha having a kid and called him like the spawn of Satan. He was supposedly on our side. I would never even co-sign that. I was disgusted by that statement too. I remember when he called her kid the spawn of Satan.
I never said anything
and
like
I was
that.
supposed to be like cheering on, but I wasn't going to cheer that on. That's disgusting.
Why do you forget that he called her children, which is something we would never do, the spawn of Satan?
It's disgusting.
So he's trying to make the argument that he can't, like, speak up. But, like, is this not literally just us showing Hila Klein speaking up and, like, saying that what he did was wrong? So you're showing us an example of her doing the right thing and actually, like, bringing it up on a podcast to let people know that that's not correct behavior.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
Unfortunately,
yeah, it didn't really feel like much of a holier than thou moment. It felt more like them just like calling it out.
Never made a statement.
Not that difficult to call out bad behavior, dude.
They never said that they disagree with his statements about Trisha's baby until it's useful. Like, what is it, 3 years later? Like, I mean, you're talking about it like you were aware of it at the time and that there was some amount of pressure or enthusiasm for you to get down with that. And what it sounds like to me is that you did see it at the time and you were like, ooh, I don't like that. And you didn't endorse it and you didn't fuck with it. Huh, it's almost like that is a fucking identical situation to me.
It's just
No, because you made a whole content cop on it. You literally made it a time. Well, this is it. Like, what do you mean?
incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
So yeah.
Not only that, but you made the content cop with all the people that are harassing him.
Bringing this up is because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys, and they're saying like, yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people.
Yeah, I'm starting to get point. Like, who cares? Yeah,
internet.
both of you guys, like, all of you say terrible things. All of you sometimes have a point, but all of you also say you just messed up stuff that sometimes is inaccurate. Who cares? You all suck. Okay, moving on.
Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also,
everybody in the world should call out bad behavior more often than we should. Okay, what the frick is the point here?
Does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking asshole for putting you in that position, Olivia. You're friends with him. And you don't have to say anything, but like, what a fucking piece of shit. What a bad friend to put you in that position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit, okay? Olivia did not do anything. And
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treatment? Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or is it because Ethan is afraid of wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits.
And also, I don't mind putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as like other people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole fucking thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is to Olivia and saying how Olivia is essentially just a victim in this whole thing.
It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit.
But me and Anissa are spineless. Ethan, your whole system is scrambled. My intention isn't to throw the employees under the bus. Like, you guys serve as the fucking...
I mean, I frankly, okay, here and there, like, he's making some points, okay, cool. It's just kind of like, okay, so if the point here is that we should all be better and call out bad behavior, you're still not doing it. You're still basically just justifying it. So are you going to actually call it out, or are you just saying, here's the reasons why I'm not going to call it out? When nobody cares what reasons you have for not calling it out.
Foundation for
call it out or don't call it out. Like,
calling out Ethan's hypocrisy on the whole subject. And I know that you guys have probably pushed back against Ethan over the years. How often are you supposed to do that? Do you have to do that every fucking week? It kind of seems like it. And that's exhausting.
I kind of hate that. Like, I think it was, who was it that did the same thing? Where they kind of act like a genuine, like, genuinely bringing it up and, like, making a statement is like, this, oh my goodness, this freaking adventure of so many, this journey might take years for me to accomplish. No, you can just make one genuine, quick statement on it. Like, real, actual statement on it, and just sort of move on. It doesn't have to be that big of a deal. But it's kind of cringe to see people try to, like, make it seem like it's such an impossible task to do as well.
I don't want to confront my boss. It's not my fucking job to confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles on Twitch was not like my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like these.
I mean, yeah. That is, yeah. No, yeah, 100%. That is totally the place where you do that. If I had a customer that came in that started yelling at my employees, and my employees were starting to get pissed the hell off and getting frustrated, my employees would come to the back and say, hey, you know, I'm not gonna use the right word, this guy, so they probably wouldn't say the guy, and then certain times they'd be like, this clown, this, you know, whatever, this bozo, he's just, like, giving me the hardest time ever. He's insulting me. It's like, I can't deal with this guy. I'm not gonna deal with this guy. And I'm like, all right, hey, tell you what, take a seat, go to the bathroom, like, take the back, we had a back door exit, and, like, go grab yourself a drink, go grab a soda, go grab something, whatever you gotta do, go breathe it off, go walk it off, and I would take over. Because I did not want my employees to feel uncomfortable, because they got very simple they got a very simple, like, job, okay? They're cash registers in the front. They write down notes on the devices they're intaking. Then they bring it to the back. On the harder times, they would also be the people fixing the devices on their down, like, whenever they're not up front. I don't need you to do anything else. They gotta focus on like, taking in the devices, who's next on the queue to fix, and then fixing the device itself. Okay, I don't need them to be more stressed out than they actually are. So yes, if there is an employee out there that is uncomfortable, yes, it is absolutely your job to call out your bosses for making you feel uncomfortable. Nobody else is going to. Nobody.
Oh yeah, and our other good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian.
Oh, and if your your employer, I should say, is like, so deal with it. Get out there. Screw him. Quit. Get the frick. You gotta do this. Screw that guy. Terrible employer.
For standing up for your girl. I actually stood up for you so many times, because, like, why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, if that's truly what you believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane and disgusting. But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me.
No, he is making a great point. I don't like this, quid pro quo friendship stuff. I don't like this, like, I supported you, so I need support back. Like, bro, like, I get it if you feel betrayed, or if you feel like, oh, okay, they're not gonna speak up for me, and but that's something that I feel like that's that's between you and them. Like, that's like, okay, no, I see you. I see, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I see who's my friends and who's not my friends. I'm not gonna mention his friend. Nah, I don't want to put him on blast like that. I had a very, very, very dear friend, from who I used to play soccer with, football for all of my non-American friends, monos, and bro really like he gave me some of that best advice when he told me that, where he's just like, bro, anybody who ever like crosses you, like never seek out vengeance and never seek like bad intentions with them, bro. Like, cause they just did you the best favor of letting you know just the kind of person they are. You move on with your day. You don't really associate with them no more. The bro was the kind of person who would drop you overnight. And I've seen it, bro. With my own eyes, I've seen this dude. Like, it was somebody he'd known for over 10 years. Overnight, because bro, like, used his name. Like, put his name on some business that had nothing to do with him and started getting him involved in like, really, like, bad shit, like, stuff that had nothing to do with him, bro. But he was, like, putting his name out there as, like, some kind of, like, I won't get far into it, but he basically cut it off right then and there, and he said, hell no, bro. You're getting me involved in shit that I got nothing to do with, and you're personally starting to get in you're personally starting to affect my life in a negative way. Cut it off right then and there, no hesitation, bro. And it's like, it's just, like, come on. Let's be real. Nobody else is gonna be out here looking out for you, dude. Call him
I'm
out.
not gonna assume
If Ethan's giving you
knows,
like,
but I'll say it for
sorry, I
anyone
don't
who
remember her
doesn't
name. It
know.
was Gloria, right? Gloria. If he giving you a hard time, call his ass out on it.
Now, Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the
Dude, shout out to the Irish. They freaking helped out the Mexicans during the Mexican-American War. Let's go, baby! Mexico also tried to help out as much as we could during the potato famines.
Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not gonna fucking defend you.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that one?
Man,
Like,
just the other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
He looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No, it's not.
So yes, you caught us. We're not gonna run to your defense when, I don't know.
But I'm kind of like, a lot of these clips are just sort of like freaking, I don't know what the
Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that one?
Man,
So what, is he trying to like say that she agreed with him? What is he trying to say?
Just the other.
You're not like when you keep cutting things to try to like fit the freaking narrative and try to make it like play the actual freaking clip, play the footage. You keep chopping up all these clips from like 3 different freaking videos, and I don't understand the point you're trying to make anymore.
Day BB fired.
Can I also say, I'm like, when are we gonna start the funny? This content cop is full of a lot less funnies, isn't it?
A really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
He looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
Israel warns can send Lebanon back to Stone Age as UN seeks de-escalation. I mean, Ray, hey, you come into my land and start like terrorists murdering people, I'll freaking send you back to Stone Age too. What the hell?
no, it's not.
So
I'm not gonna say if Hamas or Hezbollah or any other terrorist organization starts freaking attacking the United States of America, I probably want them to get sent back to the Stone Age too.
You caught us. We're not gonna run to your
don't
defense.
do that. Don't go terrorist striking people.
When, I don't know, we follow people, we be following. That's one fucked up thing that you can say about Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
So,
The problem.
okay, if you want to hang out with those people and have no spine and not stand up for another girl that stood up for you, enjoy your new friends.
She's friends with people like Denim.
Again, totally valid response, totally valid emotions, totally valid what she's saying. Like, but it's just one of those things that I probably wouldn't air out. Like, it's, you keep that personal. It's kind of like, it's kind of like I see you, and,
I know.
and
Exactly.
I kind of know how you are.
Denim is
So leave it
actually
at that.
participating in this whole child protective service lie.
Yeah,
Which I'll
and if
show you
you're
guys
friends with them, then you're saying what they're saying.
Yeah, so if over half of their current and former employees follow Denims, and they're only calling you out and saying that's because you're friends with her, maybe it's not because you're following Denims, and maybe it's for other reasons. I'm just saying, the best way to prove that they're in the wrong here is not to then make a content cop with Denims.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denims character. Originally,
who, again, in case you might not need the reminder, but Denims, very famous for putting a hit out on people on Twitch.
The complaint was about
as well as egging on her audience to falsely report Ethan and Hila Klein to Child Protective Services.
Former editor. He's been chatting shit about Ethan and Hila for the past year at least. They only care about it now because I guess it was spoon-fed to them via their Reddit that's clearly looking out for them. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are friends with Denim.
Again, as if coming from Reddit matters at all.
That we had with Ethan and Hila. It's like kind of an internet friendship. We think that she's a good person like we think Ethan and Hila are good people. Kind of a tricky situation. How can you possibly think that they're both good people at their core?
I think that Denim's is a pretty rotten person at her core. I think that Ethan and Hila are probably okay people at their core, but they mess up a lot, and they need to chill the hell out. And their content's pretty, like, boring nowadays. For me, you know, some people like it, some people don't. Ugh, it is what it is. Same with Denim's, though. Some people like that content, some people don't like her content. Like, it is what it is.
People can have crash out moments. People can say things that they don't mean. People can say things because they want.
Yeah, but see, some people don't put hits out on other people, though. Like, you're trying to make it seem like it's just, they said they said a stupid little thing. It's not, though, is it? It's really not.
On internet clout and attention. I don't know, I think they're both probably guilty of saying things that they don't mean for internet clout and attention. Right now, one's a little bit more fucking nasty to me than the other.
One's a little bit more nasty. So Denim's putting hits out on people and sending Child Protective Services after them, egging her audience to send Child Protective Services. That's apparently not as disgusting. Okay.
I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be.
Bro, this is wild. Content cop, bro. This is content cop. This is like Leafy is here, content cop.
Friends with someone like that.
Well, you can't.
This genuinely feels more like Hassan wrote this.
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with the other friend, but there is someone in the middle who kind of fucks with both of them, but separately. Yeah, there's a lot of friendships that are like that. I'm not gonna make you guys like meet up and kiss or anything. I get it.
I also don't like this whole like. This is when it starts to get to like. How do we say, influencer friendships are stupid. It's like, what the hell do you mean friend? None of y'all are friends. I even doubt y'all even know each other that freaking well at this point.
You guys are in fucking. You're either my best friend who's deep throating me to the base of my cock, or you are Satan. You're the devil.
The last thing I said to Anissa, we were texting before I ever talked about it. She's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody, and you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, then you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never.
See, I don't like that either. Like, why are you going out trying to, like, recruit people to denounce something for you, too? Like, you get what I'm saying? It's just weird to me. It's not that it's not necessarily a bad thing either, you get what I'm saying? But it's kind of like, bro, wait, this is my job to go and, like, play defense for you, too. It's just a weird transactional friendship there. I don't know.
Never replied.
Again, it's one thing. Do I agree that as a friend, I personally, if I was friends with somebody and would I go out there out of my way to denounce them? Yeah, sure. I would like go and talk to you like, hey, bro, like, what's up with this? Is this true? Is this real? Okay. And then I would try to reach out to them. Like, what the hell? Why are you accusing them? What's up with this? And then just sort of see what's going to be like, this is stupid, bro. I can't agree with it. Blah, blah, blah. This is bad. Maybe I could see myself. I feel like I probably would like to because I'm a little bit more one of those dudes who likes to freaking. Who likes to yap and likes to freaking feel like, ooh, I did a good, you know? So, for sure, but it's kind of like, it's just weird to see somebody who's, like, expecting this, you know?
Phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're being coercive and shitty. Well, then, you should have no problem publicly denouncing
Exactly,
it, right?
exactly.
Does that sound like a friend? It kind of sounds like something a powerful villain would say.
A powerful... $1 million. Ethan's Dr. Evil now.
She immediately went
to... Oh yes, look at how powerful, how evil.
To comment everywhere, like on our subreddit. She immediately had to...
Bro, you had me agreeing with you all the way until you started busting out the freaking...
comment like, "Oh, he doesn't work with us anymore."
Then
But that was it. That's all she said.
But then say that you don't.
Okay. Do you have
agree.
anything else to say for your friends though?
One of the reasons Anissa was so quick to clarify things in your Reddit is because your Reddit was already talking about who this editor is, and they were spreading misinformation that it was our co-host on our podcast, Uncle Dane.
Oh shit. That sucks. If I was you, I would have made some kind of a statement explaining the situation. And if you wanted to, you possibly could have even put a denunciation of it.
So yeah, the last thing we wanted is this
Bro
guy...
really said, here's a perfect opportunity for me to do the thing you wanted me to do. And then I didn't do that for some
getting
reason.
pulled into this mess, and you guys don't give a fuck. Would it have been nicer and more supportive to say, we don't agree with the things he's saying and we...
Oh, that's like somebody else who said that? Like, or rather somebody else who had nothing to do with it? That sucks. At that point I had to ask, like, did they ever communicate that? And like, hey, like, do you mind, like, could you mention the fact that it's not that specific creator? You know, I feel like adults would be like, hey, you know, I understand that this is messed up. You know, I don't really know a guy like that. It's not really my place, you know. I understand that's what you want, but you're also putting out misinformation about this other editor that has nothing to do with the situation, and whatever your problems with me is, or with that other guy, he's just sort of an innocent victim in this. If you could just put out a statement, and maybe I'm willing to work, you know, meet you halfway and put out some other kind of statement as well on my part. You know what I mean? Or maybe we can both put out a joint statement that, hey, whatever your concerns are with the other three parties, this fourth party is left alone. And, you know, I feel like most adults would be able to come to some kind of, like you know, mutual ground there.
Support Ethan and Hila? Sure.
I know, I've seen it. I've seen it happen.
That would have been a nicer thing to say. Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out.
Oh, that's what that means. Cool.
And then maybe we can find a moment in time, I don't know how long it'll be, but a moment in time in the future where things are...
So, I'm sorry, bad, like, just not in the context, right? But it's just like, so when he took off the content cop shirt, was that, like, basically him just being like, yeah, this is no longer a content cop? Because, like, I feel like normally we'd have a lot more gags and goofs and, you know, like, I feel like he'd be in the sewer tunnels looking for a freaking, drama alert at this point.
Are a little bit easier to broach. I don't think we need to do it right now, but you've insisted that this is an important thing to address. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me on your Instagram story. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me and my wife on your podcast. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting.
Why are you cutting off all the context, though? I don't know the actual context. It just seems like everything he shows in this one video seemingly has, like, some context cut out of it or edited or something. F you piece of shiz, and fudge my friends too, who I have stood by all these years, who can now fight. It's literally the same exact thing. Okay, got it. You keep showing the same freaking thing again.
Me on your Instagram story. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me and my wife on your podcast twice.
Yeah, Sam Hyde does that enough. Stop it, Ethan.
I would be fine with you not brigading my comment section on my podcast that gets 3,000.
I don't see how, like, again, it's just so ridiculous. Again, I don't agree with holding one person accountable for another person's comments or actions. Like, if somebody's in your stream talking in the moment and you see it and you can act on it, that's one thing, right? But, like, I don't see how being, like, so anybody that says anything on anybody, if that's the case, then Hassan is responsible for a lot of freaking comments on my videos. You get what I'm saying? But no, he's not, because that's stupid. Whoever the hell comes over to my channel to call me names and freaking send me all kinds of crazy stuff, that's them being an idiot, and that's them being, like, a jerk. It's not Hassan. Hassan has done nothing personally to me. You get what I'm saying? I don't like this whole, like, you're responsible for other people's comments. Like, as far as, like, being responsible for another person's comments, I would only agree as far as to say that you're responsible for trying, emphasis on trying, but specifically a good faith effort to moderate your chat. You get me? But that's as far as I could really take it.
1,000 views a week because I prefer to not to do harassment campaigns and instead talk about Vampire's Kiss.
Like they say something like he doesn't work for me, and I strongly disagree, and I support Ethan and Hila. The problem is
that she doesn't.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
She actually
She thinks they have a point.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So go fuck.
Last time before we move, because he keeps yapping about this, but again, if it's born from someone to say that and come out and say it, cool, that's a good friend. If it's just not, and like if it's just they see all this situation, they're like, I'm not gonna freaking say it, I'm not gonna disavow it, then you know who they are, my dude. Move on.
Fuck yourself.
Get what I'm saying?
I agree.
But I understand the frustration.
Go fuck yourself. What about your girl? This is what I'm talking about. This aggression that you're putting out into the world. What the fuck do you think we're gonna do? You think I'm gonna fucking sit on my hands when you do this shit? Like, this is nasty. We had such a fair response to what you guys were going through. We don't support harassment. It's a bad thing, but it happens, and you're perpetuating it.
You fucking...
We don't support harassment, but it happens and you're perpetuating it. We're also going to refuse to speak out about it at the same time. It's such a bad faith, dude. I don't understand what...
Propagandist, lying scumbag, terrorist supporter. He probably sets up a mirror and jerks off watching himself. Dan KKK clan.
That's twisted. You can't be saying that. I don't freaking agree with him saying that. But again, Hassan has come out many times before, specifically saying he supports Hamas and Hezbollah. I can't, like, they're officially listed as terrorist groups. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite.
You can't expect other people to stop harassing you if you continue to harass people. Let's think about it on a micro level. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of like a line, what happened today.
It really helps my algorithm.
That should never be crossed, even by like the most cynical, toxic people. It's going to have ramifications in terms of how I conduct myself. In terms of these fair weather friends who are, you know, so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ethan, that is a rich thing to say. Like, you're the H3 podcast, okay? There's a lot of friends of the show. There's even more fair weather friends of the show. Let's not get into this shit, okay? That is so bizarre and insulting to see.
I feel like he should, though. It's kind of like, it's kind of a coward move to continue to insinuate things and like never actually bring it up. That's what I hate. I hate when all they do is insinuate and insinuate and insinuate and insinuate. Like, it's a coward. Like, you freaking, like, say what you mean, bro. What the freak?
Suggest that I was only ever being friends with you to get something out of it. No, I'm friendly with you, and I'd say I'm a light friend because it's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years, and as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Who else?
He keeps showing the same clip.
Should I skip forward? What the frick? Today, you're making it so fucking obvious that this is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are. There was a way to approach this to say
it's not what podcasts. Literally, all podcasts just people talking about useless information.
Something. You've decided to do the.
Actually, I think that's literally what a podcast is. It's literally just useless information being just expunged by another person's mouth. Who cares what the frick they talk about?
Extra thing.
Is this the only argument he has the whole video?
In fairness, I am attacking back, but I feel very insulted, and I feel defensive, and I feel like...
Well, we're almost a half hour in. When are you gonna start freaking telling jokes again, for frick's sake? Ah! Like, so far, it's just complaining.
For a lot of
it's like just like a bunch of freaking washed up content creators complaining about each other's freaking. I guess just their friendship. You're not my friend.
And a lot
You're
of
not my friend.
have been on the receiving end.
I really
of your
thought this was gonna be more
harassment.
entertaining.
It's so easy to be anti-racist. Everybody's
grab
anti-racist.
my freaking,
Racism is the worst thing in the world, right? We fucking
cloth.
hate racists. Fuck racists.
Microaggressions.
The minute that they actually have to stick their neck out for somebody, the minute they have to actually risk something to put themselves in under scrutiny, to sacrifice
I feel like bare
something
minimum,
personally to stand up for racism, then all of a sudden
He
it's
used to
like,
be a
hey,
lot,
I don't want to get
a lot
involved.
better about
That's
making his
drama.
points
How much do you
faster.
care?
I don't do drama.
How much
Sorry.
do you actually care?
Everyone
If you're-
does drama.
isn't that
It's
the
just to
whole
what
point? Like,
degree.
I realize that Ethan and Hila are more scared now than they've probably ever been. I feel like anti-Semitism is a thought.
I wonder why they're more scared than they've ever been. Could it be perhaps because certain communities keep sending child protective services to their house? Or could it be perhaps because perhaps it could be because apparently you're now making content cops with the people who are perpetuating that kind of stuff. Or maybe it's because Dan Clancy is like totally cool with all this like really like pro-terrorist like rhetoric happening on Twitter. I don't know. Could be anything.
In their heads now more than ever, and it's not completely unjustified to be thinking about that sometimes. You guys are just hurt, and you're kind of like dancing around and making very like loose, poorly thought out
You're dancing around after the freaking intro to this video.
analogies for something that doesn't even apply to us. It's like me making this video is the standing up for something, and it's saying fuck you.
This is me making this video I'm willing to stand up to you for calling me out for not standing up for you. But damn you if I'm willing to stand up for you. I really want to skip forward. This is such a stupid
I don't
freaking
think
argument.
you're bad people, but
It's not
you're
even funny.
being bad. You're behaving poorly. You're hurting people.
I mean, go back to the civil rights. You think that the people who are like the white kids who are protesting with the black
That's the
students,
only
you
freaking
think that they were just
podcast
like
he's gonna ever bring up?
not risking anything? Those
Right.
kids who are marching with the black students and
Wait, is this literally the only freaking thing he has to complain about? The entire video is Ethan saying that he's mean for not freaking calling out Denims and Frogan and stuff?
In Ethan's analogy, he's the black student and I'm the white student, but I'm the white student that
Wow, what an amazing... You have to bring it to race every... What the frick? Wow, what a frick... Okay, there's the comedy. Alright, let's talk about black and white people, because we can't frick, it's 2025, we can't not make an analogy about black and white people.
it's not, marching by his side. I'm not doing the difficult thing. You're gonna have to march on your own, black student.
marching with the black students and
I mean, why is it inspiring? Why is it inspiring?
well, and it's the same thing to bring it back to Hassan just because, but it kind of is the same thing. Like I was thinking about going to Gaza
Yeah.
until I found out it's
Until
dangerous. He's a total performative activist that doesn't give a single fuck about the cause.
It's been performed exquisitely. Harassing one person and seamlessly transitioning into harassing another one. If anyone's been watching for the past fucking year, I'm pretty sure they have a good idea of your feelings about Hassan.
Like people.
Okay, so when are we actually gonna get to the content cop? Actually, at this point, I kind of was trying to like put in as much commentary as I could, so like but because I thought he was gonna like have more points, but I forget.
People like Anissa are the perfect example because she's friends with these people. She's friends with Denims. Denims is streaming this story about our kid
I'll show that, yeah.
getting Giarda from the dog, whatever.
I'm sorry, I'll accept this position from anyone except you guys. You have laid the groundwork for this type of streaming.
See, this is what's stupid is that it's like, okay, your argument is valid, except it's you, so therefore it is not valid. Is basically what she just said. I'd be if you were someone else, I would agree with you that this is messed up. Except you're you, therefore this is not okay. It's like, so what the hell game are we playing then? Like what the frick? What is this stupidity? Can we just call out bad for bad? Like, do we have to really justify it or not justify it depending on who it's being happening to?
Which is watching people shit and giving your unfiltered reaction to it. Why would you expect Anissa, of all people, to say something to Denims? Okay, so by that logic, we should be saying shit to you guys all the time. But I have a feeling you guys wouldn't like if we said shit like that to you all the time.
But again, you are doing that now with this content cop, so it kind of shows that you're willing to do that, but not willing to stand up for them when it comes to this other specific group of people that espouse very, very, very anti-Semitic rhetoric.
Yeah, we've been respecting you as independent content creators. You can do what you want. We'll treat you as adults. Maybe we shouldn't have been treating you as adults.
She could say so much, and it would make her a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's not comfortable. She'll get a little bit of shit.
Yeah, just for
but
saying
that would be commendable.
And by the way, it kind of speaks
really
for itself
any
that
greater
saying,
point
hey, their house
either.
is clean, they're, they're actually good people, like that's gonna get you shit. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
There isn't a single person.
Remember when he used to go out with the Leafy is here freaking poster, and like he had people freaking putting on his like, what was it? Was it his nose or was it his chin? And like you had to like pin the nose on the guy. It was like what the frick? It was like ridiculous. It was outrageous what he did. Now it's just him like sort of sitting in front of the camera and complaining, dude.
Who would give
and about the same point for half an hour
I
already.
publicly said that Ethan and Hila are great with their kids. Ethan and Hila didn't kill their dog, and Ethan and Hila wipe their asses or don't have giardia or whatever the prompt is. No one would care. The only person who would care is me, because
So if no one would care, why do you care so much to not do it?
I'm like, why did I tweet this out? I'm not tweeting out because I'm not your fucking lapdog. That's why I'm not tweeting it out.
Oh, okay. So you just don't like the fact that he asked you to defend him for... Okay. I don't care. Move on.
I'm not saying it to my audience because I don't give a fuck. It's not my business.
That's, in my opinion, doing something that's
Yes, it
difficult
does.
and standing by
Brother,
your
you
principles.
make it your business when you freaking literally made this content cop now and like specifically chose a side. You put yourself with the entire like Twitch terror freaking like team. The Sinister Six themselves, like what the frick?
That's the whole point. That's what makes
he
standing by your
keeps
principles
saying he's not taking a side. Well,
admirable. Is that
making
it's
this
not always easy.
Why are you saying that I'm not standing up for my principles when you don't even know what they are? I get, like, we're a little bit past directly naming me, so we might have gone off on a tangent. If you maybe accepted the phone call and we talked about it, you could have asked me, hey, what are your principles? And I can tell you the way I've been behaving is exactly in line with my
brother, no one cares what you think your principles are. That's so stupid. I can tell what your principles are by the actions that you take and the actions you refuse to take. Not the ones you don't take, but the ones you refuse to take. That's what tells me what your principles are. Because you'll believe it or not, everybody says that their principles are good. It's really weird, because I've never met somebody who told me that they have really bad principles. Never. Not once. You'd think, right? Like, out of the millions of people that exist out in the world, you know, you think somebody out there would be like, no, my principles are pretty twisted. They're pretty messed up. But nah, everybody seems to believe that they have the correct principles. And a lot of the times, I tend to find out that sometimes the principles that they say they follow, they don't follow. It's really weird.
principles. Now we're going to talk about the BDS list. We're going to start off with Frogan because obviously this is like as bad as it gets. If you're following Frogan, that can only mean that you're anti-Ethan. Oh, this is not a good start. Love of the H3 podcast. You are following Frogan, so that means that you are anti-Ethan. Sam, more.
I don't know if it's anti-Ethan. I believe the biggest criticism of Frogan is the fact that she wished PTSD upon all United States veterans, and also wanted to make a 9/11 cake, as well as the fact that she helped organize a Arab to Jew tier list, where Jew was at the very bottom and Arab was at the very top.
Morg Pie, friend of the show. Olivia, Ian, Daily Dose of Internet is anti-Ethan? Jesus, this is fucked up. Pokimane.
And again, it's just sort of like, why? Like, what are you gay? Like, what is this? Is this supposed to be the humor, the comedy, or like, what is he trying to prove with this?
Comment etiquette. Oh,
like, nobody nobody believes this. Not in, and you know Ethan is not saying this either. So why make this stupid point?
Shit, Asmongold's in here? Asmongold follows Frogan? No, Asmon! That means you're anti-Ethan. That's fucked up. We're gonna want to avoid these creators at the top of the list, but one tier
Is that Noah Sampson?
below them are the creators who associate with them. They're essentially endorsing all
The
of
guy that got accused by that one artist of like harassing her and stuff, and like he was like getting censored, and like they were trying to freaking like mass flag his thing.
their statements. You got me, you got Anissa, I think Hassan's in there. You'd think that Hassan would be on the top of the BDS list, but that's not the case. Hassan provides additional value for people. Ethan can turn a blind eye to people collaborating with Hassan because that's what he did. You gotta be the lowest of the low to be associating with the Frogans and the Denims of the world. To associate with Hassan, that just makes sense because he's famous and he's got a massive fan base. Also, Ethan still follows Hassan on Instagram, so Hassan is in his feed.
And that's showing up right up on us Nissa's and Idubbbz feed.
It's important to remember that this is a living document and people can be removed or put onto it depending on how Ethan's feeling that day. You have this other tier of creators that exist below Hassan but are still anti-Ethan, but Ethan really doesn't want to bring your attention to these ones because it's kind of unpopular, you know? A lot of them are famous. It's no coincidence that Ethan stays silent when these powerful, popular men are supporting Hassan. It's because Ethan is a
I don't think Ethan knows any of those people, but he like literally has the phone numbers of you and Anissa though. This is a pretty stupid point, isn't it?
You know, a lot of them are famous. It's no coincidence that Ethan stays silent when these
fair is fair. I don't know who the hell Stavros is.
Powerful, popular men are supporting.
But Theo Von? Does Ethan know Theo Von? Does he have like a personal connection to him?
Hassan. It's because Ethan is a coward. He's a bitch-made coward. I think Ethan has an
I mean, you shouldn't be calling people coward when you freaking with the whole Sam Hyde situation. What are you talking about, brother?
unreasonable.
What are you talking about, brother? Why are you gonna start throwing coward out like that?
Amount of respect for these comedians because they have power.
You haven't finished
they're
that
quick, and I
fight.
think he knows that they don't fuck with his ideology. But he's gonna keep that to himself because the last thing that he wants to discover is that people that he respects and looks up to, they don't fuck with him.
Bill Burr came on. It was like the worst fucking show. It was just horrible. That was like my lowest moment on podcast history. We could talk about.
I remember that. That shit was hilarious, bro. Bill Burr is basically like one of those guys that's very distrustful about the internet. Classic old school kind of guy. And Ethan is like one of those guys that's like super open book, wants everything to be thrown out there. You know what I'm saying? And so Bill Burr just sort of shut him down, like with certain questions, and like Ethan could not figure out a way to like keep the podcast pushing forward. You get me? You're chugging along. But that was definitely around the time where I started to like, because I personally am a big fan of Bill Burr's comedy. Don't know him much IRL. It was freaking weird to see him in Star Wars. But generally speaking, the guy's like pretty funny. He does some cool voices. I never watched F is for Family or any of this stuff. I just thought the Paper Tiger, like some of his bits are funny. I saw that because I thought it would be funny, and boy howdy was not. And then that's about it. I don't really watch anything else. Bill Burr, besides like the comedy stuff, the guy's kind of, you know, he's. I guess he's not very talkative.
Bill Burr made Ethan go on Lexapro. I was prescribed it and it was in my bedside. And then it was the Bill Burr episode that made me finally start.
When Stavros goes on Hassan's stream and he mocks your content nuke.
I actually saw a really interesting video about you, man, and I don't know that I'm even comfortable being here anymore.
Who is Stavros?
Oh no! It really kind of shed light on you in a way.
Yeah.
You kind of like have leftist politics and stuff like that, and I actually feel betrayed.
Yeah.
And so
I would love it if Stavros like brings up an actual point though. That's what I don't like, is that everybody always says stuff like, I had heard from a dude that said that you was not okay, and that this was, it's like, all right, like how about bringing up an actual point and discussing it? Like that's what I don't like, is when people bring stuff up and then never bring up an actual point. That being said, I don't know. Let's we'll see what's happening.
I'm actually just here to let you know this is the last time I'm ever coming.
You don't fire back
again. No freaking no.
Right. Hoping. So you're just gonna tuck your tail between your legs and never mention on your podcast that mentions everything. You're bringing.
By the way, he reacted to all of this on his podcast, so that point kind of becomes obsolete immediately.
Up some fucking
Like, as soon as this
connection I have
content
on
cup came
Twitter,
out, he
someone mocks
reacted to
you
it
on a
live.
stream, you're not touching it. Fuck you, you're a coward. It's just his job. It's just what he does for his job. You know, he doesn't mean it. We're actually good friends. You know, he makes fun of everyone. It's not just me, right? Oh, also, I can't forget about Matt Lieb. Matt Lieb is in this like middle tier. His valuable association is Rhett and Link. So Rhett and Link, conveniently, are also in this.
I'm kind of done. I'll be honest with you. This is literally like turning into like a middle school like family tree of like he's friends with him and that person's friends with you and that person's friends with that friend, but he doesn't like that friend because that friend doesn't like this one. It's kind of like this is like some high school drama, bro. There's too many freaking names and I can't keep up anymore.
Category.
I don't care about anybody
powerful
here.
Men who Ethan does not want to burn bridges with, although he's sniffing. He's sniffing
I kind of
around.
was hoping at the very least we get like classic content cop like bits and funny things in the middle thrown out.
Lieb. He works for Good Mythical Morning. Of all people, this guy Matt Lieb, who apparently is a producer
Oh, Good
for,
Mythical Morning. I haven't seen that in a minute.
for Good Mythical Morning. Well, this guy works for Good Mythical Morning, acting like he's wholesome, and
Red and Lake are so freaking like so cool, bro.
he's bringing on somebody that wants to kill
They're so like feel good vibes. You know what I mean?
my wife, or in a video game. And I think he should be fired, frankly. And I hope he is fired. He's pathetic, and he interviewed a fucking, basically a terrorist.
I think Ethan only respects power right now, which is one of the reasons I made this video in the first place.
With Hassan Piker.
Is because
who you said earlier that it's the only reason to work with Hassan Piker is because he's very famous and has a massive audience.
he thinks I'm weak. He thinks a lot of these other creators that he's gone out of his way to attack, he thinks that they're weak, and he thinks they're a target that he can bully, he can manipulate, he can send lawsuits to. And I want him to know that we're not going to be bullied. You're being a piece of shit, and we're going to call you out.
So here's the button. You've got a video and you've got an audio. We're hitting both.
Even though ultimately it was for like a very bad and stupid reason. Y'all remember when he used to like road trip, but like he actually like went and did stuff like for a bit.
Yes.
There's no point.
Let's leave.
Yeah, there's no need.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Oh, shit. Like, how pathetic are you? Don't worry if you don't have it all now. I'll garnish your wages. I don't like pedophile. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. I see you out there, you fucking cockroach. You'll be living with your parents for a lot longer, buddy. Yes, please. I want to be a good Jew. I'm a good Jew. Please, guys, please.
That was fine. Yeah.
I guess he really likes the button.
I don't think it was that.
That was fine.
Big a deal. Of all the things that.
Dude, I got this button. The freaking like it's like the button that goes though that was easy, but it doesn't say that. It says let it glow instead of let it go because you glow, so you let it glow. I got one of those. I just not using it.
It always surprises me what you think crosses the line.
Well, I looked at Olivia and she's like, yes, do it.
Now let's talk about the button. Ethan got this button, or kill switch, as a response to the controversy with Cutie Cinderella. He was not able to control himself in that moment, and instead of figuring out how he can change his behavior, he spent $20,000.
Dan and Ela were like, we would kill button that right now if we could. I can't change who I am.
I know. That's why the kill button is on its way.
That's it. See, exactly.
He uses the button for everything. If his jokes don't land, he's hitting the button.
It was being presented as if the Jordan crying thing.
I hit the button.
Why?
I don't think I needed to, but you guys were giving me crickets, so I panicked.
If he's insecure...
My joke didn't really land, so I just that is such a freaking... I need a freaking button. I need a freaking button now, dude. Every time I make a joke that's just shit, like, and I know, I'm like, that was freaking hard. Just freaking hit the button. panic button.
Here about getting something wrong, he's hitting the button.
But okay. You what? Button for that? What on this frame could Ethan have responded to? Perhaps the country flag that he got wrong? Maybe. I don't know.
If he goes on a problematic tirade, he's hitting the button.
Before, look how sad. But yeah, it's not just that. Like their eyes are like big. I think you guys are wrong on this one. I think you guys are all wrong on this one.
I don't think he's.
How is that problematic? Yeah, there's different eye shapes for different people. And hey, how's it going? Juicin? What a freaking name. Nice name. What's up, Juicin? No, yeah, how is this controversial? If anything, he didn't need to freaking hit the button. Welcome to the real world. What, have you never met an Asian person in your life? Is it like so freaking like beyond your wildest dreams that even Asian people have different eye shapes, guys? What the hell? Like what? Yeah, no shit. Welcome. What?
Before, look how sad. But yeah, it's not just that. Like their eyes are like big.
Because they got plastic surgery. Like you're gonna.
I think you guys are wrong on this one.
Well, this is that shit where people start to get like way too what do you call it? They get way too like protective of like overly sensitive people, where they're like, "Oh, I don't want to say that; it might offend somebody." It's like, well, then freaking move. Like, did you meet it with any? I feel like most people freaking will know whether you met something was genuinely like, "I freaking hate you, and you piece of crap," and then most people will be like, "Oh, I know he's freaking making a stupid joke. Maybe we didn't like it, maybe he didn't land, or whatnot." Or sometimes it's just like, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. He doesn't understand what the hell he's talking about."
On this
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like most people
in hitting the button
can use their freaking brain.
All of us had buttons, we'd hit the button all the time. But if you don't have it, you operate differently. You think about what you're saying. You maybe plan for your show a little bit more. You maybe say, I'm not going to have my podcast be an emotional dumping ground for today.
No, I hate that. I hate that. I hate fake people with fake podcasts and fake projects. It's annoying to me, which is why I love putting out raw, unedited footage of my streams. Exactly the same as Asmongold. Exactly the same as any long-form content creator you will find on the platform. Because what the hell are you editing for? Like, what are you hiding? What are you moving? Like, I hate it. What, you're planning out your freaking podcasts? Brother, if anybody out there used to watch the Off Topic podcast or the Rooster Teeth podcast, or like one of the biggest running gags for that was the fact that they would accuse them of planning out their podcast or scripting their podcast, because back then to script a podcast was one of the biggest taboos you could do. Okay, this was a cardinal sin. To freaking script a podcast, it's supposed to be like people actually like freaking I don't know, being natural, being real, you know, you got what I'm saying? And instead, you're gonna start planning it out, you're gonna start like editing it, you're gonna start, I don't know, it feels disingenuous now. I don't know. I never liked it.
Today, you instead say, ooh, it's important that we stay on topic. Also, the H3 community and Ethan himself use the phrase goblin mode all the time to excuse a lot of his shitty behavior or make it seem less bad.
I've been diagnosed with goblin mode, actually.
By claiming that what happens is he just gets into this like uncontrolled state he refers to as goblin mode.
I do not call myself goblin mode.
Yeah.
So basically, that's just when he's on a crash out.
Oh, yeah. That's what he did.
Goblin mode? Is that what you're calling Tourette's now? To all victims of goblin mode, I would like to issue an apology.
You are goblin mode today. You're goblin mode. Look how many times you paused the
I'm trying,
video.
bro.
And I don't think there's no room for using the term goblin mode.
I love how he's like, he uses it to excuse himself, then shows like 4 examples, and 3 of them is not even him calling himself goblin mode.
Like the idea that you're defending yourself and the little guy by going goblin mode when a big corporation or a big entity is trying to attack you.
Like, if you fuck me over, if you steal money from me, if you patronize me, if you do any of this shit like you're trying to do to me, to treat me like a fucking idiot, I'm crazy, dude. I've gone
not that deep,
fucking
big bro.
goblin
Calm
mode
down.
over way less.
But you not thinking about what you're saying,
Like, people
not
take shit too seriously.
reflecting on your behavior, not changing your behavior, that's not goblin mode. That's being a child. Let's talk about the crew. I think the crew has been put in the worst working environment that you possibly can be for a fucking podcast. Every crew member has it bad. To be around Ethan, period, would be a nightmare right now.
I'm standing by every fucking syllable of that, okay? What she did was abhorrent. And by the way,
Just don't. Listen, your critique of her is correct. It's just, you know, people are sensitive about women being called
I
that.
have to wonder, at a certain point, when does it become like, when does the joke become, I'm about to crash out, and then he just doesn't say anything else? And at that point, it's like kind of like a roundabout way to make an insinuation too.
That word. And so,
like, how pathetic are you? You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm not assuming his pronouns. And fuck all these people. Go ahead.
Never
And I'm
mind.
not yelling at you. I'm just...
Kelly...
He didn't hit the button there though. What the? How does it work? Does somebody else in like in the back hit the button?
is a black woman, right?
Yes.
Maziel is a
Korean.
How does that deserve a freaking button? What the frick is happening here?
Dan, come on. You're being such a buzzkill. Yeah, I don't know Korean. I asked if Koreans are POs. God.
You know, Dan's in the bathroom. Let's just not do this right now.
I asked if Korean people are POCs.
The one time the button didn't work.
Person of color. What the frick? Again, what the hell is wrong with that? Then these same people that get mad at him for asking the question be like, "Go educate yourself." And it's like, oh, for crying out loud, there's no winning. This is why you don't try to please nobody, bro. Don't try to please nobody, because they're never gonna be freaking happy.
Work, and we listened to how he spoke.
If
to
you
AD.
know your morals and you know who the hell you is, and your mama's raised you right, then don't freaking worry about what the hell these other freaking losers are saying, bro. I
Without
swear.
thinking that the internet was going to hear it. It was rude, it was nasty, and it didn't have this caveat of like, I'm not mad
Wait,
at
so
you.
your content cop is that he doesn't want to be friends with your friends, and he said that you're not his friend because you wouldn't call out your friends, and now we're going to the content cop is about him having a button and that he hits rather than just going off.
It was anger. And
Where are the bits? We're already how far are we into this? We're 41 freaking minutes in, dude.
What are you doing?
I'm just gonna stop pausing.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Just like, this is what I'm talking about when it's always like...
We need to get home for our kids.
It's like, bro...
Oh, no, I didn't want to finish it right now. I was just talking about finishing Wednesday.
On Friday, maybe. Is it?
You guys, like...
Alright, I'm taking my hand off the... What? Okay, well...
heard all that.
Thanks, button.
And he didn't want to take accountability for it.
What was it? I didn't hear this.
It was anger, and it was uncalled for.
Use, they get access to cover most of it.
We're doing it.
What are you
Making it
doing?
so awkward and terrible.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Just like, this is what I'm talking about when it's always like...
We need to get home for our kids.
It's like, bro...
Oh, no, I didn't want to finish it right now. I was just talking about finishing Wednesday.
On Friday, maybe. Is it?
You guys, like...
Alright, I'm taking my hand off the...
Oh, I see. He freaking like there was a misunderstanding and he was like trying to call him out. No, I get that. Like I don't like it's one of those things where it's like you can't be too controlling of your guests like that, bro. But I understand when like you're trying to like when you tell somebody something like, hey bro, we can't like let's try to keep this off the table, and then he might have like gotten confused, like, oh, you bringing this up, like I thought we said like we were supposed to freaking mention that or something. You get me? I understand that, but also like, bro, that's freaking petty. Like why you like if you're using a button like that, like get rid of the button, bro. What the frick? Like why mute yourself? Like just speak, say what you're saying, like say it with your chest. You know what I mean? Say what you're saying. Like why the hell you gotta like hide it and mute the button to talk? Oh, hold on, I don't want the audience to hear this. Let me mute myself. That's petty. That's slimy.
What?
I don't like that.
I heard all that.
Thanks, button.
And he didn't want to take accountability for it. He immediately wanted to deflect, and he wanted to say that the button fucked him.
First of all, I appreciate the hard work.
I know
you've
you
done,
do.
And
I
I
know.
loved it, and I really enjoy it. But it's like every time we do it, it's like the show is what it is, and
I know.
it makes it.
I was being selfish.
No, dude, that button f***ed me, dude. Can you imagine that button f***ing me over like that?
The button fucked you? AB fucked you? Who fucked you? You fucked yourself by being an asshole. He makes it seem like he's not a tyrant of a boss.
For doing it.
What are you
Making it
doing?
so awkward and terrible. I appreciate the hard work.
I know
you've
you
done,
do.
And
I
I
know.
loved it. And
Oh, what a tyrant. He told his employee that he's making the show awkward and terrible. I broke an iPhone, the first time ever iPhone I broke, I want to say. After making maybe thousands of dollars for the company. My boss got so freaking pissed off at me that he kicked a trash can across the room and started telling me that I was like pathetic and worthless and useless. And then forced me to go out. Not really forced me, right? But it told me to go out and pretty much break down the whole process for the store, compensating the customer for that device I broke, even though it's literally my first like month at work, and I didn't even know that like how procedure was, and I had to like go through all that while being yelled at and called a bunch of racial slurs by the person whose iPhone I messed up. Fair, I messed up your iPhone. You deserve to be, mad, which is why I didn't really like hold him to it, even though no reason to go with racial slurs, right? But still, and after all of that, my boss still kept telling me more ish. Now, being the adult that I am now, I would have said you should have quit that job right then and there, because yeah, you definitely messed up, and and fair is fair. I owned up to it, and I took all accountability for it, and I showed my face for it to the customer, and I told the customer everything. What I didn't like was the fact that I had to now explain a procedure that nobody ever explained to me, and I had no clue on how that would work. That's my first month in a job I worked for 7 years. And I took that manager's fudging job. He left and I took his job. But that's not the point, right? What I'm saying is, y'all need to grow the hell up. Because damn near everything I'm seeing here, except for some of the more, like, political discussions, and even then, it's just kind of like, ain't nobody in Palestine, ain't nobody in Israel give two shits about what any of you people take. Like, nothing y'all say matters. None of it. None of it. Not a single bit of it. Nobody cares. Not a single Palestinian person, not a single Israeli person, not a single Hezbollah or Hamas person cares about what any of you have to say. You're all just a bunch of losers on the internet. It's just that simple. Grow the hell up. Move on from like half of this stuff, bro.
And I really enjoy it.
Dan, his producer, is constantly clarifying things on the
I really
air
thought this
and
was gonna be
making
a funnier
it clear
video.
That what Ethan said was a joke.
There's a lot of stuff you can clown on Ethan for,
is
too.
being overly defensive, or he's saying things that are like not true, and he's exaggerating.
The beginning of the video really freaking really had me like I really freaking had me at the beginning. I was like, dude, with the freaking cop shirt and the freaking music.
Saw that. They thought that was what you searched to
I did
pull
not
up that photo. So I'm just clarifying.
Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate you doing that. God forbid.
What's okay because I buttoned it.
Why?
Because
it's not that big of a deal, man.
Just
Like,
your
how
inability to.
No. Hold on, Dan. How does it change anything? People knowing that we did it.
It's fun when it's a surprise.
Okay, well,
Well, you just asked how it changed
Surprise
things.
them on your show.
Okay, all right.
I understand that that's his role, and he's, Ethan's made that his job, or Dan's made it his job. Ethan leans on it so heavily, in the same way that he leans on the button. Ethan is leaning on all of these people to be adults and look after his behavior and give all of this emotional and empathetic energy for Ethan, but Ethan refuses to give it back to them. Also, let's talk about AB and Lena, two Lebanese employees.
I mean, okay, I think he definitely has a point. Ethan should be a better boss, and should conduct his shows better. Got him.
And you just continue to talk about the conflict like they don't exist. It would be nicer, a lot nicer, for you to shut the fuck up about it. You're allowed to do that.
Hezbollah in Syria alone killed double that much. All right, I'm going to move on. I just want to play Hassan talking about Bad and Bannana.
Ethan doesn't want to change, and he wants to bring the entire crew down with him, because he's putting them in this position every day, right? But it's more important that he gets this shit.
Wait, so now Ethan's employees are his victims? That's what we're getting at now?
Off his chest. It's more important.
Just freaking quit.
That he dumps.
Don't freaking work with
We're all
Ethan anymore.
familiar with goblin
Burn that bridge just the same way that Ethan's burning bridges left and right, apparently. Yeah, I mean,
mode. Well,
who cares,
Ethan
bro? It's a
debuted
freaking
a
job.
new mode recently.
And by the way, my ratio is pretty good. Like I'm looking at like 20 goblin modes to 1 too far. Demon mode, let's call it.
What makes demon mode different than goblin mode is goblins aren't really like an intimidating, powerful force. If the goblin is persistent, it can get what it wants.
When I'm done with the other one, the big one that's dropping probably next week, my full attention is going to you, George. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. I see you out there, you fucking cockroach.
Ethan, the reason the internet got
I'm still
behind
listening.
you
Just
when
give me
you
a
were
sec.
being sued by Matt Haas or when you were being sued by Ryan Kavanaugh is because people saw you as the underdog. They saw you as the guy who's defending the common man.
I'm suing, and I cannot wait for you guys to read it. At the moment, we are writing 3 complaints for 3 people.
You are doing the classic rich asshole thing. You have a deficit of friends, you have a surplus of enemies. You feel really bad, you feel hurt, but you also have a surplus of money. So what can you do? You can use that money to bully and intimidate people. These public legal threats that you're making to fellow creators, these legal threats that you're making to people on Reddit, on Twitter, you're like, I'm hurt. These people are hurting me. What do I do to stop it? There's nothing I can do to stop it. I'm powerless. No, you have a ton of power. You have a ton of...
I mean, honestly, we're not really in any position to make that judgment. Whatever the hell he's suing them for, the court will decide. And you know, when the actual court case is done, you know, I'll be there to make fun of whoever loses.
Of options, you have a ton of choice. That's exactly what you get for being filthy rich, is you can do all of these things.
I've never want to sue someone for defamation, but like at what point do you kind of fucking have to? I mean, this is like basically someone calling you a pedophile. Be like, yeah, you know, Ethan's a pedophile.
Dan Clancy or whatever, like the CEO of...
Yeah, actually, if somebody did that, and it's like you have a business where your entire business is revolving around yourself. You know, you're selling yourself as the entity. You know, kind of like how I'm technically not selling myself as the entity, but I am in a weird way because I'm selling OzDaMonke as an entity. But to potential voice actors, I'm selling myself. You get what I'm saying? By showing off OzDaMonke.
Twitch.
So it's kind of like,
pedophile. At what point do you kind of fucking have to? I mean, this is like
if somebody does go out of their way to try to spread this lie, absolutely. As long as you can prove that it was like done with that purpose, you can win. Now, there is a very specific caveat. There's like a fine line, which is where I kind of want to discuss that fine line real quick. Because we have a situation like Carl Jobs with Billy Mitchell. From my understanding, after watching the judge explaining his findings and how he was saying it, and please correct me if you think I'm wrong, and make sure you put some details, as many details as possible. The judge ruled that Carl basically was ruining Billy Mitchell's, like, I guess we could say his appearances, you know, his logo, he's selling himself. He was going after Billy Mitchell's personal, like, identity for defamation. The issue I had with that is that, what ended up being the thing that basically sealed the deal was the fact that Carl Jobs basically said, I believe that Billy Mitchell suing this other content creator was also an influence on that content creator potentially unaliving themselves. Now, me personally, I believe that that is an opinion, and it should be an opinion that should be allowed to be held. If you were to say, now, if Carl Jobs were to come out and be like, Billy Mitchell deals, you know, oh hell, that's an actual straight up accusation. You are accusing him of doing something that, like, is factually incorrect. That's not an opinion. Saying something like, I think this affected somebody enough to the point where he might have, like, unalived himself. Like, who the hell, how can we know? No one's gonna be able to be, like, we're never gonna be able to know. We can't. You start accusing somebody of diddling. No evidence, no nothing. It's just you just full out. There's a big difference. That's a full out accusation. That is some life ruining shiz. You get me? So that's like the only fine line I like to draw in terms of like that freedom of speech type of deal when it comes to like people like trying to make these I guess like with defamation, I would say that's kind of the line where I'm like, okay, now you're going from opinions to just accusations, so to speak. There's got to be a more nuanced way to say that, but when it starts to go from opinions to accusations, let's say, but there's more to it. It's not that simple, right? Really.
Someone calling you a pedophile, be like, yeah, you know, Ethan's a pedophile.
Dan Clancy or whatever, like the CEO of Twitch, and being
Pedophile. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler.
100%. If Dan Clancy wanted to, freaking like press charges on him, hell, I'd say go for it. Shoot, the freaking court gives it to you. Go for it.
Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite.
the CEO of Twitch, and being
Pedophile. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite. There are certain things you can accuse people of that rise above to make it like actionable, which is like wrongfully accusing someone of being a pedophile, a sex criminal, a murderer, shit like that. Dan Clancy now, in other words, he is a pedophile.
Yeah, where is all this evidence at, Ethan? You can't be freaking accusing people of this. Trust me, I don't have the best opinion of Dan Clancy either. Bro is absolutely gonna be one of the main reasons why freaking like, yeah, I'm not even gonna get too much into it, but all I'm saying is Dan Clancy, like, let's just say everybody in this dancing in the beginning of this video is somebody Dan Clancy enjoys. But like that's all I need to say because that's true. And it says everything you need to say. You get what I'm saying? I don't need to make shit up about Dan Clancy. Dan Clancy, CEO of Twitch, along with a bunch of other employees, got together and sang Hassan Piker, someone who himself has said he is a propagandist and fully supports Hamas and Hezbollah, who are terrorist organizations by definition of the United States of America. That's all I gotta say. Like, what? These are all facts I'm stating. I haven't said a single lie. And this is not me. This is what they're saying. Their own word. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to say. I don't need to make stuff up. It's just all their stuff.
So much less to go off of saying that than anybody has about
based
Dream.
on his looks. Just based on his.
Well, at least you're self-aware.
That's 100%.
Nah, that's not just based on his looks. That's 100% in Minecraft in a video game moment. That is despicable.
Oh, I have no evidence.
And this is literally just a pot calling the kettle black because apparently everybody here is freaking doing the same shiz.
To conclude that he is.
One of the more notable legal threats that Ethan has sent out recently is against Noah Samson.
I have nothing but vibes to gain, and potentially your money as well. Don't worry if you don't have it all now. I'll garnish your wages. You're gonna be living with your parents for a lot longer, buddy. 26, you know what I mean? Try 46.
Noah made a video that was critical of Ethan and other content creators when they're talking about Israel and Palestine. I mean, the way he's talking...
Noah Samson was, how come he wasn't in the dance? Was he in the dance? Noah Samson was a guy who got into an argument with that one artist chick who, like, was trying to basically send, like, a hate campaign towards him because he criticized her views on fat people.
Talking about Noah on his podcast is so fucking creepy and weird.
Is this a new thing?
This is a new thing. This happened during the show. Upon initial examination, it seems to check out, and it's not great for young Noah.
Can I say that? Don't say it yet.
I'll say it.
So he's a rape. So of course his standard. I don't know what he's accused of, so I'm not actually going to say. But
Ethan brought on a former partner.
Yeah, nah, son, you playing with fire there. What the hell is wrong with you?
Of Noah to basically just shit talk him and say that he's a bad partner. But that's all that Ethan was able to extract out of it.
You are not accusing him of committing any crimes or doing R-word or anything like that. The accusation is that he's a sleaze.
Absolutely. Noah Samson, as far as I know, is not a rapist.
Fuck you to Noah Samson.
I mean, at least he clarified that. That's a good thing. What the frick is on your face, dude?
Samson, who's not just a liar and a scumbag, but also a creep. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Now let's talk about the...
Yeah, people. I will say allegedly doesn't work in court. I don't understand why people keep like this was a joke on a TV show a while back. It doesn't actually hold up.
Left-leaning
Pretty freaking obvious when you try to insinuate something.
Yourself as someone like me.
Like, it's not a get out of jail free card just because you say allegedly or I'm not a lawyer. Like, that doesn't freaking absolve you.
Leaning Democrat who supports basic things.
The thing that made me start to question Ethan's intentions is that when he was suggested to talk to Sam Cedar, a fellow progressive, a guy that Ethan respects and looks up to.
He works with Sam Cedar.
Is that the freaking TV show where they had, what was it, Dr. Mike or whatever, and like anytime he started trying to have an argument or have like a conversation, like basically they would tell him, hey, how come you're this is bad and this is bad, tell me why you believe this, and then Dr. Mike was like, well, see, the thing is that, the way that science works, and then it'd be like, no, you're not allowed to finish talking, move, my turn next, like, so he literally would never be able to get a freaking word in. Is that show?
Majority
I never watched it, but I heard a lot of people talk about it.
They do there.
He kept saying that it was racist or anti-Semitic to suggest that he talked to someone who's within the same ethnic group as him.
That's why I said yesterday, like, I urge Ethan to talk to Sam Cedar. There are very thoughtful, very kind anti-Zionist Jews out there that he could talk to. I don't think that I will be able to reach him.
What's the insinuation that I only listen to other Jewish people? You need to talk to my pre-approved list of Jews that like agree with me on everything. You know, it doesn't.
I mean, yeah, he's basically saying, hey, here's a Jew who is what do you say? Anti-Zionist? Which is just, again, Zionist, just a dog whistle for Jew. And it's been confirmed to be basically just a dog whistle for Jew, even by Twitch TOS. So basically he's just saying, like, there are Jewish people that are anti-Jew that I want you to talk to. Got it, understood. Like, you can, what exactly are you hoping to gain from this, Ian? I don't understand this content cop. It's not even funny.
Matter if they're Jewish, dude. Doesn't matter if they're fucking Jewish.
I think most Jews.
He's not wrong though. It doesn't matter if the person's a Jewish person. If they freaking support terrorists, that just sucks.
That is the.
In what position are you to even say that?
It's not motivated by myself. It's motivated by Jews against anti-Zionist Jews.
Seriously, how can you speak for my entire ethnic group? I find that really interesting.
Ethan, I don't know what to fucking tell you.
This is such a that's a bad. I forget what the term for it is, but that's really not the same situation, is it? In one situation, Hassan is basically trying to speak on behalf of the entire population. In another, he is saying that just because someone is Jewish, that does not innately give them more their opinion more value or any more like correctness, so to speak.
This is like step one of having a leftist ideology, is recognizing our race, religion, nationality, all this shit, all shape our experiences as people.
That's the reason why it'd be better.
Yes, it does. I believe it shapes your experience as a person, and I believe that we as human beings should try our best to ignore all of that and use only logic and as much good faith and sympathy as possible to make decisions in our life.
Served to have this conversation not with myself, but with an anti-Zionist Jewish person.
Why does it matter if they're Jewish?
Because I'm not Jewish, and you've said...
Because it's easier to convince you to become a Zionist hater, which we all know Zionist is a, just a dog whistle for Jew. If another Jew convinces you of it. That's basically what he's saying. He's basically, hopefully this Jew could convince you to become anti-Jew. Because Zionist, once again, I'm gonna keep saying it, because some of y'all freaking could keep trying to gaslight me on it, gaslight everybody on it. Zionist isn't just a dog whistle for Jew.
In this conversation that, like, how can
just
you
like
tell
how Sabra
me
is a dog whistle for Israeli-born Jew.
Feel about the situation?
Yeah, but how is one person representative of Jews at large? I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret that phrase.
So yes, Ethan, on occasion you might be suggested to talk to someone who has some crossover with you. It doesn't have to be your ethnicity. It could possibly be someone who shares progressive ideology with you. It could possibly be someone who is of your same gender. I think Ethan understands this concept very well. He listened to these women on his show when they told...
Brother, say what you saying, bro. What the hell's with the insinuations? Who the hell did you just show me in that picture? Who is that? What's the relevancy? What did Ethan do with that person? If you're trying to show me that Ethan's garbage here, put it out! What the hell's with this, like, insinuation stuff? Tell me what you're trying to tell me.
Shouldn't be calling women bitches.
This bitch is intolerable. You are such a nasty fucking bitch, Ken.
I don't know.
Listen, this video is already screwed beyond belief. If any of my family is watching this, you shouldn't be watching this anyway, and I'm so... Act like a... Get called up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just calling a duck what it is. The duck is quacking, and the duck looks like a duck. It's a duck. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes.
You can call her a bitch, though.
She is a...
No, I think people need to... that's just, again, that's the oversensitivity crowd. Shut up. Stop acting like a...
bitch. She's
What
a
do you-
fucking...
okay,
You're right. I
I'm
call her a see you next Tuesday.
Listen, I'm not, like, morally above or beyond. I only do it for the algorithm, okay? Yeah, I gotta understand. And frankly, I don't believe, like, realistically, in most situations, there's no real benefit to insulting each other like that, right? Especially if you're having an argument. But it's kind of like... Sometimes people be acting like us, so you gotta call them out. Like, what the freak? What are you gonna content? Are you gonna police everybody's freaking words now? We can't freaking use the word. Come on, shut up.
I'm curious, what do Lena and Sam think about it?
I wouldn't be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's for the girlies, Ethan. But I
So
agree.
you guys all seem to be in consensus that it's in poor form. I think to respect the women here in the room, I'm gonna have to pass on saying that.
Wow. That's what I'm getting at, bro. Because then the exact same thing happens where you flip the script and you use a word that typically women will use on men, and good lordy, forget it. Forget it. No, not even possible. If you want to know what I'm talking about, please go and check out my shoe on head reaction. I'm not gonna discuss it here. I'm gonna force you to go and give me more freaking views.
Fantilization of Ethan Klein is fucking nauseating. He's not a child.
Plenty of examples.
He's absolutely capable of looking into Hassan, learning about his politics, interviewing, doing loads of things to figure out where he stands.
He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning...
I like how Joe Rogan does that. Because Joe Rogan also likes to, like, discuss and speak to people on his podcast that, like... In some cases, go completely against his views, and that's freaking sick, bro. Freaking love that. Like, there's like a limit, right? Like, if at a certain point you start to get people that like murder other people, just going, I don't want to talk to you, bro. Like, nah, like, nah, you murder people, bro, for fun and stuff. Like, you messed up. You go away. I don't want to talk to you. But I do like that Joe Rogan, when it comes to like ideals, morals, stuff like that, when it comes to having like open-minded discussion, he tends to be a lot more open about it, and I love that about him. I don't care. Like, I don't care how much, and even some of it, and definitely some of it's valid. I don't care how much criticism he receives. I gotta respect him for that.
Basic things. And for the first time, I noticed an inordinate amount of radical, hardcore leftists. I mean, I thought we were social democrats. Not whatever this was. This comment from Hassan really started to sound some alarms in my head. I was already getting uncomfortable with our partnership. I started to wonder if I had any idea who this guy actually is.
You made how many episodes with Hassan? Like, this guy made a fucking program with the biggest mega leftist on the platform. Now he's acting like he was tricked and he was incapable of...
Well, that's an insult to leftists. I'm pretty sure leftists don't want to be close to you, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm just saying.
Figuring out what this guy's beliefs were. Bro, I didn't make the fucking leftist program. You did. You made fucking, what, 60 some odd episodes of this shit? For hours talking to this guy? You didn't have a...
Again, but like, what does this have to, like, how is this a content cop? Like, what... He made a show with Hassan, it was shitty, I guess, yeah, I agree, the show was shitty. Hassan and Ethan had a shit show together, like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Problem with any of it until, oh, Ethan talks about being aware of Hassan's 9/11 comments, and then sort of leaves it at that. Like it was just a joke. Actually, I think Ethan describes them as edgy moments or jokes.
You might remember him from such classics as...
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it, I'm saying it.
Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together, because who am I to judge?
No, Ethan, those aren't jokes, right? When someone makes a controversial statement like that, that's not them trying to be funny. I can understand why you would conflate the two. That is someone who...
What?
Is it at that? Like it was just a joke. Actually, I think Ethan describes them as edgy moments or jokes.
You might remember him from such classics as...
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it, I'm saying it.
Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together, because who am I to judge?
No, Ethan, those aren't jokes, right?
No, Ethan, how dare you say Hassan Piker was joking when he said America deserved 9/11? He totally meant America deserves 9/11. Wait, this is supposed to be you playing defense for freaking Hassan?
When someone makes a controversial statement like that, that's not them trying to be funny.
Stop trying to help Hassan, bro.
I can understand why you would conflate the two.
That's what he totally meant it.
110% about a particular topic. In this
Oh my
case,
goodness.
American imperialism and terrorism. You could have looked into that. You could have
imperialism and terrorism. Yeah, totally. Sure.
To Hassan a little bit more and found out what his international politics opinions are.
Oh, he lets everyone know what that is every day on the street. What you mean?
But you wouldn't even need to do that. You can look at it online. You're not a victim. You weren't tricked. You made 60 some odd episodes. If you didn't want to go down this route, you shouldn't have done it. But that was your fucking choice. You did it. You are an adult. When Ethan and
Yeah, I don't see what the point is here. Is Ethan like... Is Ethan like really like what are you trying to say? I guess is like it's Ethan's fault that Ethan is associated to Hassan or something. Like what are you trying to like get at? I guess.
Are watching Matt Lieb saying that one state doesn't represent all Jews. They cannot wrap their heads around the idea.
No, wait, no, that's BS. No, he used to. I remember Ethan used to say that he wanted a two thing. He said he wanted a 2-state solution or some shit. I remember Ethan talking about that.
Person that represents all Jews.
I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret that phrase.
No single person that represents all Jews, as no single state represents all Jews.
This is another weird thing.
Oh my God.
Israel. This is a lie that I see Hassan and people pander. They say that Israel's going to war on behalf of Judaism. They have never, I don't believe that that's ever been stated. And I don't think Israel ever explains that it's like, I think Israel says it's a place where Jews can go.
Israel's just a...
I don't understand. Listen, I don't know the whole politics or any of that about the whole, like, none of that. But I'll tell you one thing I know for a fact is that I know dead ass that Ethan has always been like talking about wanting a 2-party solution. I don't know about the most recent stuff because like I said, I don't really think watch, but from what I remember, he was always talking about a 2-state solution. Right, that was the freaking slang, the term back then.
With that slogan, we might actually have peace. You know, if that's all you're defining Israel as, is a place Jews can go, like sure, it sounds like America to me.
So you want all the Jews to go to America? Why? Why not just leave them where they live? That's kind of messed up. I mean, it's better than, I guess, murdering from the river to the sea all the Jews. But, like, I guess just kick them all out to America? No, we're trying to... I thought Trump was, like, trying to stop the immigrants. You want to bring all the Jews over now from Israel?
Like, all right.
I don't think that Israel said they represent all Jews. I don't think that's a stance. We're like, hey, displacing Palestinians is all Jewish people.
Ethan is being so disingenuous here to suggest that he doesn't understand what Matt Lieb is.
Okay, so here is where he's starting to get even further into the political discussion on, like, the whole Israel versus Palestine. Leave your hate comments down in the comment section below. I don't care. I don't know what else to say about, like, that whole situation besides, I don't care, like, terrorists are gonna be terrorists, and if you attack a place, and, if you're a terrorist organization that attacks a place, like, I think the terrorist organization should get wiped out. I've seen some pretty messed up stuff on that whole situation. I've seen a lot of videos of, like, Palestinian kids, like, crying and, like, yelling at the freaking terrorist soldiers, basically, telling them to get out of their school, because they're, like, getting pissed off about, like, how they're, like, living in fear. I've seen a lot of videos and stuff about that. But then suddenly I'm hearing, like, from people, like, with Hassan, they're saying that actually the Palestinian people are being oppressed by Israel, which I'm like, all right, well, I'm not seeing, like, I don't see the freaking Palestinian... I'm seeing a lot of Palestinian people who hate Hamas and Hezbollah, but I don't freaking see a whole lot of Palestinian people talking smack about Israel. I see a lot of Hamas and Hezbollah terrorists talking smack about Israel, but I don't really see, like, people on the ground. But I have definitely seen them talking smack about those two terrorist organizations. So that's where I'm lost at with all this stuff, because people still keep telling me that that's not how. Whatever. Point being, that's to the best of my understanding. Put it down in the comment section. And be sure to like or dislike my video so the algorithm helps. Okay.
Saying like he's making a semantic argument. Like, I don't think Israel has said that it represents every last Jew on the planet. I don't think Israel has claimed that. They're not gonna say.
No, but aren't like most of them there though? Because they kind of got kicked out of everywhere else, right? I know that much. I remember my history teacher told me about that. They're like Jews basically got kicked out of everywhere else. Like, that's it. Like, they don't really got a homeland. They got freaking, like, get out. And now they're like, they got stuck there. That's pretty much it, yeah.
Their most
It's kind of like how when America showed up, it was just like, hey, Mexico, that's a nice looking Texas. And Mexico was like, it is, isn't it? And now Mexico was like all down South America. We got Texas, we got California, Arizona, Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? They kind of kicked all the Mexicans over there. There's still a couple of us here and there that, like, the border kind of, like, went over us. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people were like, whoa, what the frick? Like, why are you here? It's like, what? The border, like, kind of surpassed me. You know, I was here before. Anyway, but yeah, that's how I understood it. At least that's how the history classes were teaching it to me.
Behavior
here in
represents
America,
anything to do with
California.
Okay, but what they are going to do is they're going to inexplicably link Israel and Jewishness.
No, because like the actual Houthis and the Hezbollah has directly used them interchangeably, and now Twitch themselves have started to like also make it against TOS, just to sort of like. If you need, I guess, a call to authority there for freaking Twitch, who the frick are they, right? As far as, but no, like Hezbollah and Hamas have been basically interchangeably using Zionism as a dog whistle for Jew, like literally, like Zionism. So Zionism has been used interchangeably with Jew, and Sombra has been used interchangeably with Israeli-born Jew. Like, and that's just a fact. You can, like, that's, like, anybody who says otherwise just, it's, like, it's a bad faith. They're just, like, lying. Like, flat out. I'm like, that's literally what it is. You can't really argue that when it's literally, like, consistently been used interchangeably.
Together, so when they're being criticized, all of a sudden, they have the
actual,
perfect defense. Oh, another thing I
involved.
need to mention. There was a tier list. It was called the Who Can Say Habibi tier list.
Yeah, so Sabra is, this is 100% true. So Sabra, I love how he also made sure to show the image that did not have the Turkish man at the very top of the Arab tier list, and then a Jewish man at the bottom next to Love Sabra, which Sabra is Sabra is a freaking dog whistle for Israeli-born Jew, which in case you don't know, Ethan Klein's wife, Ela Klein, is an Israeli-born Jew. So yeah, they put Ethan Klein, the person married to an Israeli-born Jew, down in the Love Sombra. Like, come on, bros. You're not gonna tell me the sky is freaking green when I'm looking how blue that shit is. Like, that's so stupid. Stop acting. Come on. Quit playing.
I was presented at TwitchCon as like a panel that was just meant to be lighthearted and
How come you're not showing the faces that they put on there? You wanna explain that?
fun, and Ethan Klein saw that, and he decided that it was anti-Semitic.
Here, list them, and we're gonna.
Oh, he's not gonna show the pictures, the faces that they put.
Need your help to discuss and figure out who can say Habibi.
He's just gonna leave that out. Oh my goodness, this literally is just propaganda for Hassan. Wait, so is this like just like is this like literally just Idubbbz' like initiation like video to like be able to like join Hassan's like team with like Frogan and all them?
And also,
is this his? He's gonna start streaming on Twitch now.
We have tiers. We have Arab coded. They ask permission to say Habibi. You know, like you got like a white guy who's like, can I say it? Is it a slur? And then Love Sabra, which is they're not Arab coded at all.
Now, when I first saw this tier list, I immediately knew what it was doing. I was like, oh, it's a play on the who has the N-word pass and who doesn't tier list.
That's stupid. No, that's a stupid argument. That's really how you're gonna try to play that one? Nah, so you should have baked that one a little bit better. That is the stupid. Nobody with an ounce of logic believes that one. That one's the stupidest one, and you can tell too because you specifically left the faces out, so that the Turkish man was not at the very top on Arab, and the Jewish man who's married to an Israeli-born Jew is at the bottom next to Love Sabra. Like, that's That's very clearly what it is. Like, that's come on.
Granted,
Really? Like this is how you're gonna play it? What a return for the Content Cop series.
BB is very different than the N-word, but it is a cultural word amongst Arabic-speaking people and Muslim.
Yeah, I had a coworker who used to call me Habibi all the time. It was great.
Muslim people. Like that is a word that's used. Habibi. It means my love. Oh no, don't do that, Habibi. Oh yes, Habibi. You're my Habibi, I'm your Habibi. So yes, it's meant to be a fun way that these Arab content.
He didn't quite use it that way. He said it was a lot more of like a friendly thing, or sometimes he would even say it to like to really fun tourists at the, like when you're old, basically like that are like visiting, stuff like that. It's like a really endearing way to say it. So it's not necessarily to like a love or like that at least the way he explained it to me, it wasn't quite that intimate. But I guess I'll be able to Google.
Content creators can express their Arab culture and be proud of it and happy about it, because it's not like they have massive representation on the platform.
Making a tier list based on race, and nobody has a fucking problem with that. Okay, you have a tier list based on race. Where's the Jewish panel? Where's the Jewish panel?
I find it weird that now Idubbbz is gonna try to like gaslight people when it's like, where were you when everybody, like, when it happened? Like, what? So, what do you mean? Like, how are you gonna like try to gaslight people now? Again, only showing the clips where there's no faces up on there. It's crazy, isn't
Where
it?
at the top it says Jewish. It's a tier list based on Arab to Jew. He's Arab, which is good. That's the best thing you can be on this. That's the best. This is
yeah, he's talking about Hassan Piker. They put Hassan Piker on the Arab.
Racist!
I will say that conveying information through a tier list is not the most effective thing, but Ethan should understand this principle. He did a white...
Bro cannot this is literally this is literally his Hassan Piker, like, initiation video. He literally cannot, he like, similar to anybody on Hassan's camp, look at Ludwig for a good example, he literally cannot say a single bad thing about his side. Can't criticize, oh, it might not have been a best way to give information. Not even gonna discuss the fact that Love Sombra is, like, no, not gonna mention the Sombra thing. Not at all.
White slurs tier list with Hassan.
Cracker.
I mean, you know what my take is.
We can't put this as an F. Cracker. I mean, that's got to be.
Cracker is racist. That is racist. Absolutely. Absolutely is. Frogan loves to say cracker. He called Ludwig a cracker when he donated money to Palestinians.
At least a D, right?
Very rude. I think it was very, very, very rude when Frogan called Ludwig a cracker. No, was it Ludwig? Yeah, called him a cracker for donating to the Palestinian cause.
Paleface. I mean, again, I think that's an F. Hog.
So Hog is my favorite. I use it all the time.
Him and Hassan feel as
Hog
though
is like
they're
for fat
white
people,
guys,
right?
so they felt very comfortable talking about white slurs on their tier list.
I think I'm more white than you. What do you think?
I think I'm white. Like, I'm super white.
Can you understand?
I never thought I'd see him admitting to that. Okay, cool.
And why Arabs might feel comfortable talking about Arab shit on their tier list, Ethan? You're the white guy. You think you're more white than Hassan.
I think I'm.
Yeah, but then again, with that same logic, why bring up Israeli-born Jews by using the dog whistle for Sombra? Your own logic doesn't work here.
More white than you.
So yeah, the white guy can say all the things that he wants, like cracker, but the Arabs can't have their tier list.
I would put him also in Arab. I know Turkish.
So which one of these is an Arab slur? So like, which one of these is the Arab slur? Is it Arab or Arab coded? Coded, sorry. Asks perms, is that an Arab slur? Thinks it's a slur. That's a slur? That's an Arab slur? Thinks it's a slur? Or love Sombra. So which one of these is the slur then?
People are different.
Notice how they drop the premise almost immediately that it's about who can say Habibi. And then it's like, Hassan, okay, actually, he's Arab. We fucking love him. He's dope. He's Arab.
Habibi is an Arabic word. That is an Arabic word, Ethan.
Funny about this whole thing is that they say Habibi in Israel. Again, people underestimate just how, like, mixed Israeli culture is. Like,
we say Habibi in Israel.
You saying that like it's not actually genuinely completely defeating your entire point, though. Actually, genuinely, yeah, no, that kind of makes the whole freaking premise a lot stupider. This is a great film. I'm sorry, I got this. This one's really nice. I like this one. Oh, damn it, messed it up. Hold on. No, new one. Oh, it's so nice. I'm gonna save that for later. Thumbnail.
Yes, Ethan. Another piece of evidence as to why it isn't anti-Semitic.
This is racist.
If you're not Arab,
I still would say that using the dog whistle, Love Sabra, is still pretty freaking racist.
Understand Arab culture at all, which is a lot of Americans, and Ethan Klein presents you this tier list and calls it anti-Semitic, you're just gonna eat it up. It's not. Ethan is just proving his location on this.
Yeah, I never heard about it from Ethan. I just straight up saw the freaking, like, saw it all over Twitter. And as soon as I saw it, and as soon as I saw that, like, Hassan was at the top, and then Ethan was at the bottom, next to Love Sabra, I was like, oh, damn, that's freaking racist as shit. And that was pretty much the long and short of it, like.
This tier list under Love Sabra because he doesn't understand Arab culture. There's a lot of Arabs who eat Sabra. There's a lot of people like me who eat Sabra. A lot of the times it's all that's in the store. And
yeah, but that's not, you didn't say that this was about eating Sabra. See, now you're moving the goalposts. Now we're saying that see, now it's not about Habibi. Now it's about Arabs liking Sabra. So the tier list is about having the Habibi pass to whether or not you are an Arab that likes to eat Sabra. That's the tier list? Now the tier list is that. Okay, got it, cool. See, the tier list keeps freaking changing. I'm getting more and more confused every time they tell me about it.
And I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna eat it, but it is not the good shit. Like the average Arab.
Not the good shit. Shut up, dude. The freaking jalapeno Sabra. Oh my goodness. Get you some
American,
jalapeno one.
They're gonna go in the store and the only option.
Oh, I got that with a freaking bag of pita bread just because they were next to each other at the freaking outlet. Oh. I'm going back there my next paycheck. I'm telling you, dude. I didn't know I like hummus that much.
Is fucking Sabra, and that sucks. That's the only option, right? Arab communities and distribution facilities are not widespread across the U.S. So what are they left with? They're left with a common, relatable.
You can also just call it hummus because it has a name. I mean, again, your whole point gets defeated the moment you think about it for 2 more seconds. Like that's not how that works. Hummus is hummus. Like hummus is still hummus.
Shitty hummus, which is Sabra. And what's so fucking pathetic about this whole thing is after he was able to get
this is not a strong. None of this is a strong argument. It's just
these
complaining.
Arab creators banned off of Twitch for 30 days. He goes on to talk about how bad Sabra hummus is on his show.
I don't think anybody prefers Sabra over homemade, like.
Shut up. Well, homemade. I don't know about homemade. You get too freaking like high and mighty with me with the homemade stuff.
Restaurant quality hummus.
I don't got homemade freaking hummus. Okay, I'm Mexican. What is the closest thing we got to hummus? Maybe. Right. Well, I mean, hummus is like a bean, so maybe frijoles, refried beans. What would be the closest Mexican dish to hummus?
You know, it's what's there.
Like weirdly fluffy.
It is fluffy.
Sabra. Weird.
Yeah.
I would buy it sometimes and eat it. It's not the best.
Jalapeno
The
one
problem
is
is with Sabra, in my opinion, it's only good for the first 2 days.
I can't. I refuse to sit here and accept all this hatred for Sabra.
Sabra shit, it just feels so much.
I just freaking started eating the jalapeno one, and I refuse to allow you to change my opinion how amazing it is.
Of Sabra, that's crazy.
I did though. It was the jalapeno one. It was delicious.
Oh, okay.
Well, you hate Jews then.
I don't. And Arabs.
Yeah. This is racist.
Yeah, it's almost like you can have a discussion about Sabra hummus being a bad hummus without it being at all.
Yeah, except they're talking about actual brands of hummus, not about Arabs and Jews. Again, you're just making arguments that don't argue anything except
related to a Jewish thing or an Israeli thing. He can have that discussion as much as he wants on his podcast because we all know his intentions aren't anti-Semitic.
This is what he did. He hit his heart hard.
No, that was stupid. Get out of here with that.
Zionism is
He did not do that. Shut the hell up. And there's plenty of Democrats and liberals and freaking everybody else accidentally doing the same stupid shit. Stop it with that nonsense. We know damn hell what a salute. We know damn hell what a salute is. Stop with the freaking oversensitive BS. Just because you freaking don't like Elon doesn't mean you gotta find the stupidest things to hate on him for, bro. He's already stupid enough.
Cultures embracing their own.
Literally, just show people what they themselves are doing, the same way that I do with freaking like anybody on this freaking video, and then people get mad at me for literally just showing them what they do.
Instead,
I'm not freaking making any new claims here. I'm just showing you what the hell they're doing.
On you. There's this incident on the podcast where they were reacting to Cutie Cinderella, and Ethan
I actually don't
was
know this whole
laughing
situation at
during
all.
it. So that ended up being a pretty important wake-up call for Ethan. He made an apology video directed at Cutie Cinderella, and it
What
was
was it about,
graded
though?
by a professional psychologist, Dr. Kirk.
Yeah, but like, can you tell me what it's about though? How come you're not bringing up what it was about, or what did Cutie Cinderella do? Maybe you don't want to bring that up because Ludwig is a part of y'all's camp, and Cutie Cinderella, what's going on there?
Conda of Psychology in Seattle.
How come he
And
never
Ethan
explains nothing? I feel like he used to explain everything on the content copy.
In terms of a public apology, this is A+.
Ethan won't stop talking about his A+ rating.
You know, he rated my apology to Cutie Cinderella a perfect score, a perfect 10.
A perfect 10 out of 10?
Literally 10 out of 10.
What was the situation? Somebody's gonna have to explain that to me.
Go back. I can teach you how to make a
Right.
good apology. I'm the
Right,
best at
10
it.
out of 10.
I know what a perfect apology is, lady. You fucking don't. Is my perfect apology in this PowerPoint?
Dude, that is absolutely freaking cringe, though. To freaking be like proud of your freaking apology. What the hell did he do?
I got a perfect 10 out of 10.
Did he like laugh at Cutie Cinderella talking about something bad, like something bad happened to her?
No, this one is actually best apology.
Oh, shut the hell up. But so they're saying that he didn't apologize to Cutie Cinderella. So what did he say? Now I kind of want to know.
Ethan Klein, you guys! Oh my god!
I was trying really hard to think about.
But see, you're not helping your own cause here by not telling me what's the situation. Don't accuse him of being a bad person for doing this, and then like don't explain what the hell he did.
An impactful moment during this video, like could I do something that would really wake Ethan up? And I don't know if this came from a good place or not, but I came up with the idea of getting Ethan's grade changed from an A to a B at least. So I went to visit Psychology in Seattle. I'm not confident.
Wait. So.
Not, but I came up with the idea of getting Ethan's grade changed from an A to.
That is the saddest, pettiest shit I've ever seen in my life. Wait, so you were so sore about this dude getting an A rating on an apology that you just had to get up, buy a plane ticket, and fly down to talk to this psychologist to try to get him to change his score? That is on some freaking, like, who the hell like, I'm sorry, that is on some disconnected shit. That is the most disconnected shit I've ever seen in my life, bro. You can't Zoom call this fool. You were just so damn up on your feelings about this guy getting a bullshit, not real, doesn't matter. Who the hell takes it seriously? Freaking rating? A rating? An armchair psychologist rating? Like, he's a real psychologist, but what he did it from a freaking monitor, my dude. He did it from a screen. Like, you were so, like, hung up on this, you had to fly your ass down there and, like, make a whole scenario just to get his rating down to a B? That is cringe, bro.
To a B at least. So
This is on a whole other dimension of cringe, dude.
Psychology in Seattle. I'm not confident that Kirk will change.
Damn, bro, what the hell happened to Idubbbz, bro? Nah, so Sam Hyde needs to go to jail for murder because he killed that old Idubbbz.
Change his grade, but it's worth trying, and you know,
I can't
we
believe
might
it.
learn.
I cannot believe any of this.
Xander! Probably get pretty low marks.
Unlike me, perfect score, 10. I said, hey, Lud, no wig drama. Why are you such a spineless coward of a person now that you've inserted yourself and your girlfriend into this conversation?
Okay, Idubbbz, I hear you. Here in the room.
He looks scared. Am I the only one who's getting that far? He looks scared. Okay, look, I got it. Okay, all right, I'm sorry. He's not. I guess he's not that good of a person. Jeez.
with me right now. I hear you. I hear your
I
request.
understand. I got it. Sure. Yeah. I'm sorry. Just leave me alone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said the guy made a decent apology. I didn't know you were gonna turn up at my house like this.
Bandit, I can understand where it's coming from, and I guess
think it's stupid to get hung up on a freaking BS like a grade on a psychology. Imagine if like you had an actual psychologist like who you spoke to about your problems and your issues and all that stuff, and bro was just like, no, what'd you tell him? No, you can't be on his side. He's good. Bro, this is like on some marriage counseling ish. No, don't give him the correct. He's in the wrong. I'm in the correct.
a policy that when there is a grade for an apology, I am just grading that discrete apology as I see it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to take it that serious, bro. Like, why are you getting emotional about this, Idubbbz? What the hell happened to
any
you?
consideration of prior or future behavior. If
That is
you're
sad.
wanting me to comment on...
Nah, son, I'm sorry. Idubbbz, like the Idubbbz I knew, would clown on you. Not this guy, like current Idubbbz. Like, this is some clown behavior, dude.
the overall behavior or the recent behavior from the clip.
Like, I can't accept the fact that somebody out there thinks that you made a good apology. So I gotta make a deal about this. I gotta turn up at his place and like make him, basically like I gotta force a freaking like, I don't know, what, a refund of his words? Like, what is this, bro?
Clips that you have
This
shown.
makes you look so petty and sad, Idubbbz.
I believe that Ethan is a good person and that eventually he will feel sorrow.
Oh damn, bro, you can't say that. No, Idubbbz is here. Wait, why you do that?
And will feel
That's not the answer he wanted. Stop it.
sorry and will apologize, and I will be there to evaluate that apology when it happens, which I know it will.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Wow, Idubbbz really got mad. He really got mad because of that, dude. I haven't seen you this pissed off since people wouldn't stop talking about it. Nissa's OnlyFans. Damn. Sam Hyde, like, no, dude, I tell you, Ethan is Sam Hyde #2. Wow.
Unfortunately,
Look how mad he is about it. Why, bro? Nah, son, you used to clown on people that took shit seriously like this, bro. You changed, bro. I don't know if it was the whole Yoko Ono situation or if it was Sam Hyde just breaking your freaking mind. Cause I'll be real, the only thing I know about Idubbbz lately is the Sam Hyde situation. He's been off the platform from beyond that. I don't know, bro. I've never seen a man change like this before. I guess this is like the perfect example of like that one friend that gets married and then suddenly has a whole freaking 180 in their personality. It's just weird to see from like a audience to creator standpoint, you know? Wild to
is
see.
Great, but that's okay because this is the internet. Anyone can have their own official apology rating system. So I'm going.
Bro, he is fuming. Why? Why are you so salty about it? Oh my god! Why would you leave this in the? Why would you put this in the video? Like, why are you so mad?
To rate Ethan's apology a B-. That.
Well, screw the psychologist. He doesn't know anything. He can have his own bullshit metric. Me, Idubbbz, the #1 psychologist extraordinaire, armchair psychologist extraordinaire, with the official score, is a B-.
Just based on my own feelings and my own rubric. When Psychology in Seattle was watching these video clips of Ethan, he said that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug. Now, of course, it kind of pisses me off to hear that shit. 'Cause I'm like,
how dare you be nice to him? You're supposed to hate this Jew. I mean, you're supposed to hate this man, and you're supposed to say that he's horrible and that his score is an F because that's not okay. And you're supposed to say that you agree with me.
What are we doing? What are we saying? He needs a hug? No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping.
Brother, I think you need a hug. Like, I don't understand. He needs an ass whooping, so now you're just gonna call for violence. Like, what are you doing here now? What are you trying to accomplish with this? Exactly. This is the saddest thing I have seen, bro. This is like when you get this is like when you get a Disney movie, And then they're like, bros, we about to make a live action. You're like, oh, okay. Then the live action is like shitty. You're like, this is nothing like the original. And they're like, well, shut up. They're the modern audience. And it's like, this is literally content cop for the modern audience. This is literally content cop for the modern audience. Like, actually.
Is what he needs. I think something that's very important to me in...
He needs an ass whooping. I think someone needs to kick this guy's ass. How is that not a call for violence? Like, literally.
Bringing back Content Cop is to be fair. I think that was something that was not...
To be fair, I wanted to bring back Content Cop to be fair, so I flew down to tell him he needs to lower the score.
Rated in previous Content Cops that I think should have been, and probably wouldn't have left me with so...
At this point, it's more like surprising to see him change so much, dude.
So much regret. Ethan deserves all of the criticism that he's getting. I think it's very...
What criticism, bro? It seems to be only you guys. Like, literally everybody involved in this video.
Very valid. But I also think, at the end of the day, we should acknowledge that
And not only that, but it seems like the vast majority of people do not agree with you, because we're at 353 dislikes to 320 likes. 320 likes, I'm assuming, is the entirety of everybody, is all the audience together of everybody dancing at the beginning of the video. 320, and they still got outnumbered. Wow.
Human, because he is human, and he is in a situation...
He is human, so we should give him a hug. Or you could get pissed off by the fact that somebody wants to give him a hug. You know, it's up to you.
That's making him extremely scared, paranoid, defensive, sensitive, and I'm sure other features and feelings.
Other things also.
In the spirit of Kirk saying...
Yeah, he's feeling fear, trauma, he has feelings, emotions. He's human. He's human. You know, don't worry about his feelings. Human.
That it looks like Ethan could just use a hug. I have challenged some of his most powerful haters to put down the haterade and just say something nice and charitable about him, because I think he deserves it.
I don't know who he's gonna get, but I'm willing to put down $10. It's gonna be nothing but incredibly artificial external compliments. You have good hair. You have good comedic timing. You're a strong talker. It's gonna be all external BS, very accessory compliments.
I just wanted to say that I respect that you...
You egged your community to send this child protective services after him. I don't think anything you say could be nice.
are genuinely yourself on the internet. I think a lot...
You are genuinely yourself. Wow. Denims, you shouldn't be yourself on the internet, I think. You should be someone better.
A lot of other people respect you for it as well. I think
a lot of other people respect you. I don't, but other people do.
A big reason why people were drawn to your content in the first place. I think that's a lot of the reason why your employees chose to work with you over anyone else.
Ethan, I think it's
the most backhanded compliment ever, bro. Act like one, get called one, bro. I'm just saying.
Respectable that you even began this.
Bro, you keep, yeah, wait, who is this guy? Is he actually, I'm like 90% sure. Is those all the people at the freaking, do they get credited or something? No, this is a recession indicator? I'm sorry. Oh, they are here! Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it is.
Crowd and step into a more empathetic worldview. I know it's.
I didn't really like catch on to that whole situation until like Denims, like basically like made it even larger, and then like started freaking you know, people started accusing her of wanting to send a hit out against OzDaMonke, even though it was actually a hit out against, I believe, Destiny. Like that was wild.
Ethan,
sorry, what was his compliment to Ethan?
Ethan, I think it's respectable that you even began this journey to leave behind the anti-SJW crowd and step into a more empathetic worldview. I know it's not easy.
Ethan.
I told you it was all just gonna be BS external freaking.
Client, I think that when you are being goofy, when you're being silly, when you are being lighthearted, and just having fun with your friends.
I think that whenever you're not calling us out on our BS, you're totally cool.
I think that is when you're at your best. So I'd love to see more of that. That'd be sick.
Who's Matt Lee?
My letter off because I don't want to sound robotic. H3 used to be the sports.
Yeah, you caked on. I don't care who the hell you are. She caked on makeup for this. I've seen your streams.
that I used to watch. I hope that one day gets back to what I remember. You were one of the inspirations for me to start creating content, so all this has stunk. I hope
those look nice though. The filter, alright, cool.
You really hear this, and I wish you the best.
I think Ethan Klein rocks a buzz cut pretty.
This guy went the complete opposite route of Frogan. I prefer Frogan like getting, you know what? There's you know what? Professionalism. I should have respected it. Because then we got Noah Sampson over here looking like he just freaking woke up and is on the way to a freaking, I don't know, to breakfast or the airport or something.
Good. And
Come on, brother. They asked you to freaking make one compliment about Ethan Klein. You couldn't freaking like get up in front of the camera or nothing.
He's got a good choice.
I take it all back, Brogan. I thank you for that compliment. I didn't even pay attention to what the compliment was.
I think it's really cool what
facial hair. I freaking called it. I said it was gonna be some BS like his hair.
8 years ago, fighting that frivolous lawsuit. That was pretty fucked up. And fighting it, you know, he changed.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. And I you know, Noah Sampson is somebody who used to get like false accusations on you, bro. Like I thought you would be somebody who would like think a little bit more logically about stuff like this. That sucks to see. You're getting involved with some really bad actors here, my dude. But I don't know jack squat about him. Maybe he does agree with all these politics. I didn't know him like that. I just remember reacting to that whole situation when he was getting like a wave of hatred being sent at him. Genuinely, at that point, it was incredibly undeserved and very much in bad faith.
Better, and I thought that was cool because I thought it was like he was fighting for free speech.
You know, I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neela. I'm like, fuck, like it's really hard to be
I see the dynamic of Ethan and Hila. What, the fact that they're happily married? Why would that make you mad though? Or cry? Why are you crying? Hold on. Wait, wait, this is the psychologist you came down to convince to reduce his grade on Ethan's video? Why are you crying to him about what? Because he didn't want to reduce the grade on Ethan's apology? You started crying to him? The hell's wrong with you, bro? Grow the hell up.
Fighting for free speech.
You know, I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neela. I'm like, fuck, like...
Oh, I can't believe they're so freaking happy, the bastards. Why? What?
It's really hard to be, a couple online and see people attacking your partner, and it's like, okay, like if...
Yeah, of course it'd be difficult to be a couple online and people attacking your partner. But I'm sorry, my dude. This is what comes with the territory. You cannot become a corn actress and expect everybody to just shut their eyes and their ears as soon as you decide you no longer want to be a corn actress. You do not, nor nobody deserves to ever be demeaned or treated as lesser than anybody else for an occupation. However, you cannot expect anybody to simply ignore something like this. Like it's so stupid to just be like, I deserve special treatment, and you need to treat me a special kind of way because I don't even know what reason she would have. But no, if you did something like, how about this? I actually had this discussion not too long ago, okay? And it was about, freaking, what's her name? The chick who got famous for having that, like, that X tape come out. The Kardashian, there we go, the Kardashian chick. I'm like, somebody was trying to tell me that she, I'm like, because I don't know how the discussion came up, but at a certain point, someone said that it's like, you know, I was like, what exactly is her claim to fame? And some people said that her claim to fame was accessories and makeup. And I said, no, that's merchandise. She became famous for something entirely different. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like one of these things where it's like, hey, listen, I respect the hell out of her because she got her bar. She passed the bar, by the way. Kim Kardashian is a genius. Mad respects to this chick. She genuinely passed the bar. She has done so many amazing, intelligent, talented things. She's great. You know who's another great woman who did made her own accessory line, her own clothing line. I mean, amazing. It's a very little known woman called Mia Khalifa. Kim Kardashian and Mia Khalifa are very, very well-known women for their makeup, accessories, and clothing brands. And nothing else at all. And that's the only thing that you're remembered for or thought of. Definitely don't look up that one Family Guy episode where she shows up on it. Don't look at that. Don't look that up. But my point being here that it's just like you can't like. It's unreasonable to suddenly try to like get special treatment because you suddenly decided you don't want to live that lifestyle anymore. I'm sorry, you did. It's out there. It's public. This is the lifestyle you decided to live. These are the consequences of it. It sucks that you have to go through it. I hate that you have to go through it. In a perfect world, you would never have to feel that stuff. And if there was a perfect world, you could delete all that content and everyone would forget about it. But now that it's said and done, and now that you yourself, Idubbbz, understands that this is her history, you, as an individual, have to learn to get over it. You have to accept that people are always, always, always gonna know her for that, and for little else. For very little else. Nobody ever talks about the freaking, what did Vitaly, nobody ever talks about how Vitaly was handing out cell phones. Nobody talks about that. He was handing out cell phones in the Philippines. Why? Because he's being a freaking douchebag. Committing crimes. People are not going to look at the positives. Nobody. And no one, in any situation, nobody's ever going to look at your positives more than your negatives. And that is universal across the board. I don't see why, suddenly, because you're an OnlyFans model, you suddenly get the special treatment, and people have to ignore what your previous profession was. You get what I'm saying?
If you
that don't make no sense.
Defense, like,
but I do want to let him
really
make his point here.
To be a couple online and see people attacking your partner, and it's like, okay, like if you come to their defense, if that doesn't always help them.
It
right?
doesn't.
Sometimes
you
that
really
makes it
have to
worse
ignore
for
it.
them.
And I have been.
And it sucks to do it. It's so hard to do, but you literally have to ignore it and just let it go. Because there's never, ever, 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 ever gonna be anything you say. There's never gonna be any action she could possibly do. There's not gonna be any movement that could possibly change the social construct of society that's ever gonna stop that from happening. You have to live with it. And if you love her, you will. And you'll move on. But if you can't freaking get your feelings together over this, brother, why the hell did you ever agree to be together with her? You need to look inside, internally at that point, and figure yourself out. You're either okay with it, or you're not okay with it. But you can't have this, like, I'm okay with it until people start to tell me that it's not okay. You gotta fully commit, my dude. I'm sorry. This is genuine advice to you. Like, you can't be half and half here. Like, why you putting this clip of you crying to this freaking psychologist that you came over to try to convince somebody else had, like, a terrible psychology? Like, you tried to, like, what the hell's wrong with you with this? Why would you put this in here? This is, if anything, it's just gonna feed those freaking stupid trolls more. They freaking thrive on this, brother. Why would you ever put this in the video? You're only gonna make it worse for yourself. Damn. And we're close to the end. This is how you're gonna end it?
To a very unhealthy place where it's gotten worse and worse, and I get criticized more and more, and I get more defensive and more pulled up. A feeling of almost infallibility that I could take anything on. It led me to make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, it's called getting a big head, a big ego. It's pretty noticeable. Yeah, he's got a freaking big ego. Look at him.
And then when I was criticized,
he's been freaking. Look at everything we've seen in the twisting. If that doesn't show you he's got a big ass ego, I mean, I don't know what does. But then again, that's kind of, he says it himself. That's how he is.
for those mistakes, then
That's
I
why
was
you gotta chill out.
extremely defensive and nasty and not
gotta chill,
really
bro. You can't be-
processing them in a healthy way.
You can't be throwing it and then get all surprised when somebody else dishes it back out. Like, what are you doing? You gotta keep it chill. Keep it. You don't gotta push this any further. You feel me? Well, there you have it, everyone. That's the freaking video. I mean, what else is there to say? 321k freaking likes to 357k dislikes. It seems like nobody is in agreement with this freaking video. Well, I mean, took 321, but the vast majority of people seem to be more so in agreement of against it. It is interesting though, because I genuinely thought this would be like a 10-1 on the like to like dislike. Actually, like, I'm surprised it's this close. I'm exaggerating, right? But realistically, I really thought the likes would be like 10 times more because I assumed it'd be like, what, everybody here? It'd be Hassan, Denims, Sean the Black, Rogan, Kirk Hunt, and Noah Sampson, Matt Lee. I assumed all of their fans would all show up to support, including all of Idubbbz and Anissa's fans would show up to support. But I guess that's literally all the fans showing up to support. What the frick can you do? But I'll tell you what, Monodachis, I don't freaking care. The video's freaking... The video was, like, definitely lame. Like, I think it was boring as hell. Some points were good. Definitely some great freaking jabs at Ethan here and there. He definitely had some really good points against Ethan. But some points were freaking, like, dead end. Like, they didn't freaking go anywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and link this on the Discord. I gotta go pee real quick, and I'm gonna keep going a little bit longer, because that video was long, and I want to get a couple more videos in. So give me a moment, Monodachis. We'll be right back. I'm gonna go use the restroom, and when we are back, we will continue with some more stuff. Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and become a Monodachi today! I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi! That's all for now, Monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut!